They are that bloody good, Phil Hurton. Oh, Harry Prosser gets dropped! The excitement is building, the crowd is here.
Oh, why not? Hey.
Well, g'day footy fans and welcome to Webb Oval for round 7 in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. Big game today, the minor round now 1/3 done, only one team is unbeaten. And if they can win this critical clash, they'll have a 2-game gap at the top. Always ranked number 1, our filming footy sponsors, Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Neomorph Mouthguards, Hahn, Sportal, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Farmers Leap Winery, Police, Credit Union, Dartfish and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's the top of the table clash, the unbeaten Glenunga Rams hosting Sacred Heart Old Collegians. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. It is game day down here, Glenunga versus Sacred Heart. My name is Tony Neal and joining me is Adam Jeffries. Welcome, Adam.
Very excited about today's game, Tony. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, that sun on the back, it is sensational. I've had a yap with a couple of the coaches. Mate, I'm going to put it on you. Battle of the forward lines. Glenunga, they bomb it in. You'll hear Grimer calling out all day. Marks last week versus Golden Grove, 85 for Golden Grove, 32 for Glenunga. Will they finish with the score, getting that ball in just high and long?
Well, it's been working for them for 2 years, Tony, so I wouldn't be changing anything if I was Glenunga. They're a contest and territory team, not going to change anything on their home deck. For mine, they'll keep doing the same thing. You'll see the same mark counts today. Glenunga's will be low, Sacred Heart's will be high. They do like to use the lateral short ball. It's a nice day to do it. Let's see what happens.
Well, Sacred Heart last week, of course, 23 scoring shots to 21 and they lose the game. Had a chat with the coach and he said didn't really tell the story of the day. There were a couple other issues going on. Will it be tactics by Sacred Heart? Do you think they'll stay with their own game plan first of all?
They're not going to change anything Sacred Heart either, Tony. They've still got the best defence in the competition, the best points against Sacred Heart. So they expect a real arm wrestle type of game today. Sometimes on the small oval you can get centre clearance and score, but both of these teams are so good defensively that I can see an 8-9 type of game happening here today, which I'm sure the viewers would like to see a little bit more, but these two are the best defensive teams in the competition.
Well, a little bit of a prediction. Let's touch on the Sacred Heart tactics. So we talk about their back line. Is it going to be tempo? Is it punch and run? Speed? Is it switch and possession? Will they put a spare back? What do you think we're going to be looking at today from the second top team?
Yeah, I don't think Sacred Heart. Well, I saw them play in round 1, Tony, and they do like to switch the ball. They'll intercept the ball in one pocket and want to go out the other side, maintain possession. They've got good kickers and good runners, so they won't change that. They'll look to maintain possession of the ball, have close to 100 marks for the game for sure.
Let's look at Glenunga. Quick release, get that ball down into the forward line. We'll hear Nathan Grimer yelling out all day. Will they use the corridor or will they use the outside runners? Will they use the width of the whole oval with diagonals?
They'll just go wide, Tony. They won't use the corridor. They won't play on with handball unnecessarily. They'll just stick with their game. They'll get contests, they'll get crummers, and then they'll look to get territory down the field. They'll stick with the formula that works. They'll get high inside 50 numbers, high repeat entries. It's just a matter of whether their forwards can grab hold of the match.
Well, it's all building, folks. There we are. Let's take a short break and be back straight after that break with the big game.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Well, magnificent day down here at Glenunga. First versus second. Tony Neal and Adam Jeffries joining you. And, well, a build-up to this game. Just sensational weather at the moment. No breeze. And we're going to have a look, first of all, at the Division 1 ladder. Adam?
Yes, let's do it. After 6 rounds, you start to get a bit of a gauge, don't you, Tony, on who's going to be where. You've got the pointy end, you've got the cluster in the middle, and then you've got the relegation battle, haven't you?
So just looking at that, I can tell you with the points for and against, Glenunga have got the first or the highest amount of points for, the second best defence. So there's a battle in itself. Sacred Heart, their scoring is only 6th, but they are the team with the first best defence. So what a build-up, battle of the forward lines, and well, their scoring. Can they get a bit more scoring going, Sacred Heart?
Yeah, that'll be the test for them, won't it? Their defence was so sound last year, but this year, you know, they did have 100 points kicked against them by Port Districts last week, albeit Port Districts kicked 16-5. It was only 21 scoring shots. So both these teams are very well organised defensively, Tony.
All right, let's come across to Glenunga. As you can see, started in 1954 as Hyde Park Football Club, moved to Webb Oval in 1957, changed the name to Glenunga in 1967, so 10 years there. Joined the South Australian Amateur Football League, it was back then, in 1960. Won the A3, then the A2 flags in the first 2 seasons. They've played, Adam, in all divisions, from 1 to 7.
Wonder if all clubs, how many clubs can say that?
Yes.
There'd be a few who've played in all.
And over 60 seasons since their highest grade flag, which was A2 in 1961. So will this year, they came so close last year, will this year be it? Just on that history, I can remember coming out coaching against them in late 90s, and they used to have a wood fire in the club rooms. There is their history. Division 5, Division 4, Division 3 premiers. Division 2, no relegation, so they were very lucky there. Then they came second, got up into Division 1, and they've finished 4th and 2nd. So they've really built a strong culture and a really good playing group over the years there, Adam.
Yeah, if you take out the COVID season, their win-loss record's pretty good, isn't it? Would have been nice to be coaching the Glenunga Rams in that time. But since Coach Graham has come on board in 2021, they've been a formidable opponent, haven't they?
Well, there's 6 years there where they've, the worst year was 2022, 11-9. They still finished in the finals. So 6 of 7 years playing in finals as well, which is it's going to become important when some of the other teams get into the finals. A lot of players having been there, which we will touch on that a little bit later as well.
They've got plenty of finals experience now at Glenunga.
Let's have a look at Sacred Heart. Well, there's the Glenunga. Oh, well, this is a team and a half, isn't it? We go through there. Tully Kennett, of course, vice-captain Oliver Cheeseman coming in. Abe Davis, of course, winning the medal last year. What are you looking at? What are you seeing there? Lincoln Bennett, there's a few there, and there's so many.
They've got a lot of injuries as well at the moment, Tony. They've probably got 6, 7, 8 of their best players out. A name that's appeared on their sheet that has Alex Harron has been a captain of the football club.
Yep.
We weren't sure. I wasn't sure. I thought he was listed as an out for the season, but he played his first game for the season last week, so he's a great inclusion. Obviously, Abe Davis is a great player. We don't need to talk too much about him. They've just got a fantastic system. They've got some good, strong contested aerial players, and they've got great role players that play around them, Tony. Front and square players, tacklers, and that's why they've been so successful under Coach Grimer in the last 4 seasons.
Just talking with one of the hierarchy earlier in the day, there's 25 current players missing at the moment at Glenunga, and yet they're still strong. They did get towed up in the B grade by 4 goals, but I did see Sacred Heart kicked 8 goals, 1. So very accurate kicking to 4 goals too. So both teams quite accurate. There's Sacred Heart. They're Catholic Marist Brothers College, which started at Port Adelaide in 1897, moved to Somerton Park. Beautiful area there. Formed in 1968 under Sacred Heart Old Collegians. 1984, only the 3rd old scholars team to make Division 1. The A-grade premierships were 2001 A3, 1993 A2, 1974 A4. 3 straight seasons. 1 win from Division 1 promotion, finally achieved in 2022. So close. And now they're here, and I'll tell you what, they're second on the ladder. Formidable team as we speak.
Yeah, they should be here to stay for a while now, Tony. It's interesting history, isn't it, with Sacred Heart? Because their school's been so strong with football, it's actually surprising that they haven't produced more Division 1 squads over that last sort of 50 years. They have such a good football program. Many AFL players have come out of Sacred Heart. Maybe they're just too successful. They just don't come back. They're not the guys that get delisted after 5 seasons, Tony, and come back and play local football. But they're a formidable team. They were a real surprise packet in Division 1 last year for mine. I thought they were a really, really good team. Came in, was strong defensively, had a top 3 finish in their first season in Division 1. And again this year, under the radar, Tony, a little bit Sacred Heart at 5-1. Not a lot of people speaking about them as premiership fancies, but at 5-1, it's a pretty good platform, isn't it? Yeah,
you're certainly correct there. As we look at Glenunga in the resplendent blue with the big ram on the front of the jumper, and out they come. Very good there. So looking good, yeah. So watch out for Abe Davis today, especially on a day like this. And it'll be interesting. I do know he's put some time and effort into improving himself this year. There's the team lineup, Sacred Heart. I'll just quickly mention there, Seb Kerrish, really love watching him. But players from the last couple of years I've had the luxury of calling the school games. So Tyson Coe, number 8. Fantastic player that's come in from the school. Ryan Werfel, number 23. Henry McAuliffe, 33, Brandon Smith, 34. So there's a few through there. You'll see Luke Dewhurst, number 42, and we can tell you that Ben Dewhurst is number 12 today. So they are the son of course, Craig Dewhurst, the former South Adelaide champion, who I was talking to prior to the game, as they come out in the white jumpers today, the away Guernsey, so we're not going to have any trouble. There.
I remember Phil last year nearly cried when the clash strip wasn't worn, Tony, so that'll be nice for the commentators today. But they're a really good squad, aren't they, Sacred Heart? The reason they're good defensively, Tony, is they've got Tapp. Sean Tapp is the best defender in the competition, so when you've got a centre-half back that can intercept and spoil, it just forms a bit of a brick wall. Zach Sanderson's an underrated fullback as well. He's a great back shoulder spoiler, loves an ear massage, Sando. So they've got great key defenders and they've got great running half-backs, so they're hard to score against.
Alex Collotto up forward, playing coach, first versus second. He's got a lot of responsibility today. I spoke to him prior to the game, but how do you see his role today? He's part coach, part player, isn't he? Yeah,
he's got a big role this year because they've lost a couple of their other experienced key forwards as well. So he's really their number 1 bopper up there. So he'll spend probably 60-70% of his time up at full forward, centre-half forward, provides a great outlet kick on the wing. He'll take a couple of minutes in the ruck, usually in the middle of the quarter as the second ruck. But he's got beautiful hands. But what he is, Tony, he's the best kick for a ruckman I reckon I've ever seen. He's got a magnificent ball drop. A lot of ruckmen, all due respect, a lot of ruckmen struggle with the ball drop and can look a little bit awkward at times. But Collotto's a great kick for a man his size.
Long way from hand to foot. Other Division 1 games today, Prince Alfred versus Golden Grove at Prince Alfred, so that might be a little bit of an even upper. Brighton Bombers versus Tea Tree Gully, how do you see that one going?
Tea Tree Gully, a good side, but Brighton at home, they're the type of games they might feel like they can be competitive in, but I do like Teacher Gully at the moment.
Broadview versus St Peters. Of course, St Peters coming off the win last week.
Broadview must win that game.
And Port District, aren't they? Just chipping along nicely in third position now, up against Paynham, who may have surprised a few, except for the people at Paynham. They're in fifth position, so it won't be a lay-down misère out there at Port District.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game. Port District should win at home, but you never know what you're going to get with Port District. They kick 5 goals one week and 17 the next. So they're so good defensively. If they can consistently kick 10, 12 goals a match, they'll be fine.
Just a little shout out there, Sacred Heart. You were mentioning about so many players that have gone on to play AFL, and there's a young player down here today, Jacob Ryan, and his father Steve Ryan. I was talking to Steve, know Steve very well, and Jacob, of course. So speaking to both of those prior to the game, and great for current listed AFL player to come down and watch his former team as we come in for the coin toss here in the middle, and the captain, of course, that's Cameron Rankin here up against Big Abe. Let's have a look.
You want to go down the hill, Tony, here, I reckon. There's quite a slope that goes to the left of your screen. No, he's decided to go up the hill. Don't worry about what I think.
Come home with it then. So look at, he's very relaxed, isn't he, Abe? But boy, what a standout player he's going to be. Just while we've got a small break, we would like to wish Phil Herden all the best. He's been a little bit off colour, a little bit crook this week, but we wouldn't be where we are, Adam, without the assistance of Phil. The preparation that he's done leading into the last couple of weeks. And
do you reckon he's watching?
I think he would be. Phil. So good on you, Phil. We love you, mate, and we hope you get well soon. And the Adelaide Footy League also, from everyone here, love hearing Phil on the commentary and the preparation that he does. He's second to none. He's one of the leading commentators around the state, if not Australia. So fantastic. And there's Alex Colotto on the lead. He's a big beast of a man, but you're talking about that. Here's the kick. You know, hand to foot with a lot of big fellas. They drop the ball and there might be 500 mil or 50 centimetres if you like distance, but he guides that ball on, so keep an eye out for that. We talked about the battle of the forward lines. I cannot wait for this battle of the forward lines today. We'll hear Nathan Grimer. He's just to the left of us, so he will be yelling and screaming, bomb it in. The temperature currently, and it does say Glenunga there, so it's 21 degrees maximum.
Warm. I was cold last week. That feels warm this week.
21 overnight minimum we won't worry about because it's not night time. No rain and sunny, and a 15 kilometre an hour gust. I reckon if you threw a bit of tissue paper in the air, it'd drop straight down. That's how good it is. And we're only a couple of weeks off winter, and yet beautiful, magnificent weather here. Just having a little bit closer look at the teams you spoke about last week. Of course, Glenunga, a 6-point win. It was close all day, and their better players, Charlie Pridham, Harry Prosser. I was going to talk about him in the goal scorers in a moment. Jordan West, Thomas Bilby, Declan Fay. Prosser kicked 4 and Bilby kicked 3. They did score 13 goals, 8 goal scorers, Adam. So a good spread of goal kickers there for Glenunga.
Yeah, for sure. That's how they play. They're not going to have a guy come up and kick 6 or 8 goals. They're going to have a couple of guys kick 2 and 3. Prosser's a good player. He's one of those underrated players. He's been a really good goal kicker at Glenunga for many years. Used to kick big bags in the lower divisions, Tony, and then as they've come up the grades, they've had some better players around him. He hasn't been needed as much, but look out for him today to kick 3 or 4 again. And
of course, Sacred Heart, the one blemish, the one loss for the season, it was a big one. They kicked 5-18 to 16-5, 23 scoring shots to 21, yet they lost by a pretty big margin, 53 points. Better players, Elijah Lau, Alex Colotto, Seb Kerrish, Bradley Noble, Tom McDermott. They only had the 4 goal scorers. Watch for Kerrish, particularly around the back line. Normally wears the long sleeves, but of course it's still warm, so he's probably in the short sleeves.
No long sleeves today. Socks down, no long sleeves. But interesting on last week's game, Tony. Yeah, it was a little bit windy. It wasn't so windy where we were, and Port District's kicked 9 straight with the breeze. Sacred Heart kicked 1-8 with the breeze in the first half. So look, while Sacred Heart, we saw the margin at the other ground and thought, oh, what's happened there? When you see the scoring shots, Sacred Heart won't be panicking about that. They'll be disappointed with their conversion, and Port Districts will be pleased with them. But perhaps their systems around the ground were fine. Sometimes you just don't convert, do you, Tony?
No, correct. Quick look at players in form. Charlie Pridham and Abe Davis, Glenunga, both have played 6 games and been in the best 4. For Sacred Heart, Tom McDermott played 6-4. Cameron Rankin only played 5 but been in the best 4. Seb Kerrish 5 and 4. Goals were Michael McMahon for, and I don't think he's
not playing
today.
No,
he's kicked
injured.
15. He's leading out of 5 games. Then you've got Abe Davis with 9, Sam Parsons 9, Harry Prosser 9 for Sacred Heart, Colotto 9, Darcy the Cornu 11, and Henry McAuliffe with 10. So it builds now. We've had a good pre-match wrap there looking at past form, but none of that matters right now as we see Jesse Temmie just on the wing here with Ben Dewhurst. In the middle there, that's Declan Fay, number 5. The big fella, he's a good size, isn't he? Jordan West.
Yeah, he's a sneakily good tap ruckman and contested mark forward of the ball from what I've seen this year as well. You can see Glenunga, they got big bodies everywhere. Even their wingman here, Temmie, he's a big-bodied player on the small oval, contested brand of footy Glenunga will play today.
So Kerrish on his own. So you see all players currently matched up. So let's see game plan versus game plan. As you said, the nice tap there with the right hand pretty much into the centre circle, and the umpire's given a free here, and they're out through Ethan Moore. I noticed Seb Kerrish did start in the middle. They spread wide. A lot of movement, as you'd expect early in the game. It's just out to that scoreboard size. Colotto up high, and came down horizontal there. Little pack forming. Umpire charges in and says we'll have a ball up. Good fly from Colotto. So the square is vacant as we speak. Players now just trotting back. There's a player out here free at centre half forward. If all on his own there. He snuck out there. Elijah Lauby. They've picked him up now.
Watch the matchup. Zach Smith's the key defender for Glenunga. He's giving away a lot of size to Coach Kai Lotto, but these body spoil you saw there, Tony. He puts his body in, makes it hard.
Little kick around the corner, player on the ground, and that ball, you notice that came inside.
Moore?
I've just got eyes on him now, the player with the white boots.
I think that was Ethan Moore, number 5. He got the first centre clearance free kick of the game, and then he's hunted forward and kicked a really good sort of check side snap. Glenunga will be disappointed they let the ball bobble into that area. Normally in those D50 stoppages, you want to knock the ball to the boundary line. Hopefully we can get a replay of that because it happened really fast. But Glenunga will be disappointed they let the ball over the back from that stoppage. Snap goal.
Nathan Grimer up and about there already as well. So
they're the coach killers, those ones. They're the ones that you practice for, and then first minute of the game, 5 more.
Ethan Moore it was. So can they go ahead again? Oh, just that little deft tap. That's worth it. He's on the end of this more. There he is again. No, just pulled out of that. That was Ben Dewhurst on this wing. So really close to us now. You won't get it out from Abe Davis under there. Watch for him, third man up. But we'll see Jesse Temmie, Jordan West here. He's won the tap again. They've got to capitalise on that. He's certainly winning all the taps, but it's what happens next, of course, Adam.
Yep, for sure. Taps, not always relevant. Get the ball.
There he is. Yeah, he's heard you too. Good coaching. Over it goes. They're not quite in the centre forward position. Little tap off the ground. Hugh DeSera there. Little bit of pressure. Pridham can't off the ground. Around it comes. Just bouncing there. Gee, a lot of numbers here for Sacred Heart. They can do what they want out here. And that's a nice kick on the left foot. Noble's up high. Or taken high. No, up, down. Gee, in a bit of strife. They've wriggled to get out of that. And that was Ryan Werfel. Oh, big strong tackle now. Tully Kennett, and they love it. And he's going to be the recipient of that free, fast-moving, free-flowing football.
It's only a quick snippet, but Werfel looks like a really good mover, doesn't he? He was super sharp onto that football.
So the kick comes long into the pocket. Pack forms, and he wins ball. There was a lot of Sacred Heart here earlier. Now it's just bobbling around. They're going backwards, Glenunga. Davis comes in and says, well, give it to me. He gets tackled to the ground, and a bit of work by Darcy Glias there. Young lad. As I said, there's 4 or 5, a smattering of young lads that have come out of the college playing senior football this year, and good on them. And up high there was Sam Abel. Another that's been out here for a long time as he's pointing back, saying, there's the commentary right back there, boys. They've just said my name. Up it goes. He can't quite get the tap, so the ruckman must be playing a kick behind. Yes, you can see that here, Adam. Jordan West.
Yeah, they've got options that can take the forward knock. It's Abel and Davis as well if they need.
I would have liked to have seen a couple more Glenunga set up at the back of this pack. Right here where it is. Quick hands out, Cameron Rankin. It's up, it's down. Oh, big strong tackle to ground. And umpire says holding the ball. They've been quick on that today. That's the 3rd or 4th one already.
Don't mind that. Wish they'd pay that in the AFL. They let them get away with a lot at the moment.
Kick comes long. Big pack forms. Oh, just dropping the ball there. Sacred Heart on the ground again. Little tap, that'll do. Second tap. Ethan Moore again. Playing a good game. Little bit going on in back play. Seb Kerrish on that left foot. Beautiful kick, well weighted. Backing up this time, Glenunga. Nice work, Alex Haran on the ground. Chip out to the wing. We talked about this. Thomas Kalovasitis could not quite do it. Puts a hand in. Well done, young man. Gee, good second effort, Sacred Heart. In it comes. Forward line pressure. Bang. Looks like Lewis Benuto there. Says, just hold on, I'll have a look at goal.
It's a hectic sort of 60 seconds of football there, Tony, wasn't it? No team could slow down, get a mark, control the tempo.
It is, Adam, yeah.
Yeah, and just that rebound back inside 50, and that's when you're often on those turnovers, you'll find free players on the way back.
So Benuto over by the playground there. Just wanders in. He likes it off his boot, does he? Not quite. And so 1-1 is the score. Of course, our magnificent Sportal Scoreboard is our sponsor. Hahn as well, Hahn and Sportal. So they're going to come out wide here, Glenunga. Gee, very wide. And this is Tom Butterworth speaking to his father, Rocky, pre-game. So Tom Butterworth just taking his time. Colotto's just come down the ground here, you can see. This next kick, gee, player there tackling two. Boy, oh boy, go and pat him on the back. Luke Dewhurst tackled two players there. First throw in really close. There's no one behind. Wait for this one, Adam. If it goes behind, I will go bananas. Anyway, up it comes. Gee, player couldn't quite control that. Bilby back onto it. Now he's got that left foot. That's a high kick running back, Sacred Heart. Well done. Oh, Zach Sanderson mentioned earlier. Gee, too easy for mine through the pack there. That is Darcy Glias. 1-2. Player in trouble. Ground handball. We're seeing a lot of that now in the AFL. Desira gets it across. That's a fair kick. I reckon that's Jesse Temmie. It is. And slow spinning ball, Adam. No, a lot of ground balls down there and gets it out and kicks the goal.
They'll be disappointed was it Sanderson who dropped the initial mark and it just allowed pressure to come. We thought Sacred Heart were going to be able to clear the ball, but what Glenunga do is they put amazing pressure on, and but that was a fantastic finish. Sort of one step, 48 metres out. Tony,
yes.
not the finish you'd expect. So good little settler for Glenunga. I thought Sacred Heart were giving a bit of trouble around the stoppage and some repeat entries, but a nice little settler for him there.
Well, as you said, he was right on that 50, wasn't he? But he didn't get sucked into the ball. He waited, and the handball came out. There's an art to that, and he's down on the wing here on Bowen Payne as we speak. So yet another tap. Ruckman runs forward as well. There he is. He gets it back. Tries to give a quick handball over. He can't. So disappointing. They're winning the taps and just not getting that clearance. Or just stumbling there a little bit, Bowen Payne. 1, 2, 3. On the left foot goes bang. Glias. Nice kick to a big pack. 2-on-1. Around he goes. Samuel passes. They're going the wrong way to get the clearance. So a bit of a scrubber there. That happens. That's Samuel Brooks. So now a high kick comes in. Gee, Harry Prosser had to wait. Puts a player under pressure there with that handball. Look at the numbers around the ball again, Adam. So a little bit of pressure coming into it. There is some good movements, and then when they get the chance for a stoppage, you get the numbers around the ball.
This oval is deceivingly tight, Tony. You don't come here thinking it's, say, a Goodwood Oval or something like that, but it is tight here, and it does invite a lot of numbers around the ball.
So this time Glenunga sells the dummy. Player under pressure and just carried across the line. What's the umpire going to call? He's going to call a throw in. Quick change there. Tully Kennett on.
Putting on good pressure here, Sacred Heart. Unusual for Glenunga for mine. Normally when their players are facing forward, they'll kick the ball long, but they've just looked at an extra couple of handballs here.
This time it's a tap forward. 1, 2, 3. 2 handballs and a short kick under pressure. And that's a grab off the back of the hand, I reckon, to Samuel Brooks. Hope he gets his kick a little bit better. He does so. Well placed, except turnover. And so these rucks will be interested to see what they're doing. This is Noble. Nice kick in. Henry McAuliffe in front of us. Looking into the middle. They'll allow you that, Glenunga. And this is Cooper Brinkworth. Goes to go across. Now it's that high kick in. Is Colotto there? He's not. He's at the back of this pack. Bounces a long way out, this ball. Up and down. Big pack forms. Look at the players charging in there. Momentum. Out it comes. And well done by Sam Abel. So now the... Sorry, mate.
You have to play a little bit of tempo here once your numbers are flooded back. It's a smart move going sideways. Land their forwards to reset.
Oh, good punch here, and just watch the trailer there, boys. You'll get an invoice. But good work. That was Zach Sanderson. So, yeah, nice play. And, gee, runs back straight away down there with Harry Prosser.
It's a good matchup,
It
those
is
two,
a
Sanderson
brilliant
and
one,
Prosser. Similar size bodies. Will be a good matchup to watch today.
A lot of numbers in front of the ball. In it comes there, a little bit of grappling. Yet again a Glenunga touch, but a paddle out. And that is, watch out for this player, Tyson Coe, outstanding player in the senior 18. Ball into a dangerous position, trying to wriggle that around with Zach Smith and just walks that through under pressure from Alex Colotto.
So Sacred Heart had the early ascendancy. They've had a couple of nice clearances. They've had 5 inside 50s to 3. So they're just a little bit on top at the moment, bar the nice finish that Glenunga got a minute ago.
Here's the battle of the ruckman, I'd say, with this kick. Jordan West, he's got the strength, gets a fist on it there. He's really outbodying his opponent. And just Bradley Noble just punching his hand there. I'd like to see Noble perhaps start off him and try and jump over the top of him. The body on body's not working, to be honest. He's going to put the body in there and just get moved around like a rag doll. Ruckman almost takes it there. Oh, just lost control of that, did Ethan Moore. Got himself in trouble with Abe Davis. Look at Davis just wanders back, and he's on his own at the back of this pack. Coe now comes in to pick him up. Davis is third man up. So we do call that a fair bit in Glenunga games. He's just setting up again.
It is amazing with Abe Davis. He's clearly the best player in this competition, Tony. He never gets tagged. He's just sort of deemed as it's too hard to tag him, so we'll let him go.
He's pushed himself through that pack. That was Alex Howard on the left boot. Probably another stoppage right here on the half forward line. So Davis, you can see there, number 28. He's just going to walk into the back of this pack. Abel looks at him. He'll probably get it backwards to him if he could. There he is. He just walked from that last stoppage to this one and no one looked at him. He scragged a bit there and taken a bit of attention, looking at the umpire. He's going to hang out the back of this pack and probably come back to him here.
He's getting a little bit frustrated, the big fella. Hasn't found any space yet.
11 minutes in. Not quite on the wing here, about 10 metres forward of the wing Glenunga's way. Abel now comes over the top. That gives Noble a little bit more of a chance. Gee, good running there. That was Darcy Glias. And just stepping backwards, Cooper Brinkworth. As Lincoln Bennett waiting to get on.
So a lot of stoppages in this game, Tony. You spoke about the numbers around the football. This will be a pattern of play through the day. There will be a lot of stoppages on this tight oval with two strong-bodied teams.
You can see here in the back line too, Colotto is coaching and playing, and he's got the Glenunga ruckman on him because Sam Abel's going up in ruck. There's a free kick here.
And Davis has found it in the pocket.
Just looking quite lackadaisical, he's pointing.
And it might be a 50-metre penalty here.
Yep. Not sure what that was for. There is an umpire right down in the goal square. Actually, it's a free kick.
Free kick hasn't gone to Davis, sorry. Something's happened downfield. Sorry, we just missed that here in the commentary spot. A little bit of a blind spot down there. Trying to see, find out what happened there. It's very difficult to happen that off the footy. So downfield free kick just on the edge of the goal square. Should be a simple shot for Jack Scott's got the football, Tony.
So Scott it is, right by the light tower there. Oh, he's a long way from it. He's almost dead in front here. And kicks it, Jack Scott. So that gets them ahead on the scoreboard. And those inside 50s, you're correct, Adam? Oh.
As we see a little bit of a skirmish up. Something happened off the ball that we haven't been able to quite catch up on it. Tony, but that's all right. That's footy. That's what happens, isn't it? It's 5 inside 50s to 4. So Glenunga have been pretty efficient. 4 entries, 2 goals. A little bit of a lucky free kick there potentially. We're not sure exactly what happened. A few afters, but that's footy. It'll sure be all play on and get on with it. I think the Sacred Heart player might have been indicating that maybe he took some sort of dive. And then again later on, but that's okay. That's football. That's how it rolls.
We talked last week, 85 to 32 marks against Glenunga last week, and yet they won. So it is that big long kick into the forward line where possible. I'll come back to that in a moment. There's another kick in. Handball across. Davis couldn't quite there. Didn't get to him. Around the corner, that was Pridham, one of the better players from last week. Oh, burrowing in there. It was a very good play by that player. Really led to the ball and just went straight in.
Just starting to get some deeper entries now, Glenunga. A lot of their entries were shallow early, but now within 25 metres of goal.
Gee, that was a nice hit by Abel there. He's hit that about 10 metres. forward Glenunga's way. Comes in again here. We talk about number 22, of course. So he's a bit more athletic. He's probably going to try and jump over the top. There he goes. 0-0 there. I don't think the ball's hit the ground, has it? Just both ruckmen caught that in the air in their arms. One hand each, so we'll set it up again. Abel this time tries to take the body, just a palm down the side. See, that's come off the side of the boot. Getting to it, Pridham, it's right in that pocket tight. Oh, a little quick handball across. And straight across. Goal there by Harry Prosser. So one of the questions, Adam, I asked Alex Collotto pre-game was if they like to bomb it in and they don't take a lot of marks because they're kicking long all the time, are you going to do are your forwards going to come up, are you going to do a flood? Or are you going to do a press the other way and try and take the opposition away from their game? And he said, to be honest, we're going to play our game. And really, they're going to play them. We're not going to change up too many tactics. And I like that answer. We'll see how it pans out. Big ruckman, that's a long way they've got to get down, isn't it? So, and he has to get back up off the ground there, big Jordan West. Luckily.
Not where he wanted the football, was it there, the big fella?
Right on the toes. Real hamstring tester. But he's just an imposing side. Look here, he used the body. Wins a tap straight to Tully Kennett. It's just this next part of the clearance. Can they get a quick handball out to a floater going by, a drifter, or get it straight into someone's hands? Because he's just winning so many taps. That's just a chip over the shoulder. Oh, running into trouble there. Unable to get through.
Good umpiring there, no prior. Yeah, you can see the swarm of numbers around the football, Tony. You've got a lot of numbers around the ball. You've got 3 or 4 pairings either side, forwards, feed defenders, so a lot of numbers.
Oh, player. Is he tripped there? Taken high. Could be... So a lot of... Look at him running off the back line here. Gee, he ran a nice... Tom Butterworth ran a good pattern there. Didn't get used. So that was... Yeah, just a tired kick by Declan Fay. Might be a bit sore on the leg. We'll keep an eye on that. Far side, oh, big grinding tackle. And it was like watching a cow in the rodeo get driven into the ground there. And, gee, Charlie Pridham, that was a strong...
Yeah,
they're both going forward that way, but he must have held him up enough.
There wasn't a lot of prior opportunity there, but Pridham is a tackling machine. Look out for him, Tony.
Terrier, isn't he? Big pack forms. Look at the numbers around that ball on that far side. Very close to the boundary. Great to see too, Adam. The locals out and about, and probably the opposition as well, but big crowd over that far side and a big crowd on our side as well.
It's one of the good ovals just to come and get a deck chair and watch some football out here at Glenunga, isn't it? Especially on a beautiful sunny day. Plenty of people around the whole oval, not just on one side. Coming
up to 17 minutes in. There's the ruck winning again. Goes forward. Abel can't get there. And nice mark. Looking around for a switch.
And this is the difference on this oval, Tony. There's just not quite the space to really switch the ball, whereas a lot of ovals, they would have gone out the other side there, Sacred Heart.
Yeah, that was Jack Mooney getting the fist up as Jordan West comes in again. So he's up again. So Alex Collotto's brought himself, I did say before he'd come up the ground, so he's brought himself into the ruck here.
Yeah, which is his usual. He'll do a little bit in the middle of the quarter, although West would normally take a break, but he's rucked the whole quarter thus far.
Tell you how good he's going, Collotto. He's tapped it to himself and roved it as well. They get it one kick forward there. The trouble is, I was just going to say, the trouble is here, there's no one down deep. So they have come up the ground, which allows Glenunga, through Thomas Carlo-Vasidis, with a sense of humour, puts it back out to where it came from. And Collotto there, very good hands. See, they come inside. This is the pattern of play. Cameron Rankin, he's got another one on. There's a 25. So maybe getting close enough. He's probably going to be 65 out. I'd have a go at it, Adam. But anyway... That's unselfish play. Coe can't get there. Benuto gets after it. Good forward line pressure. That's the thing you were talking about, the inside 50s. You get it there, but you've got to be able to finish, and that was good pressure by Benuto, lining up for his second shot.
Yeah, that'll be his job out there, Benuto. Yeah, second shot on goal, but there's only been one mark inside 50 for the game, Tony. It's hard for both teams with the strong defences to mark the ball, so those ground level players and those tackling players have got to come to the fore and score some goals for their team.
Because our interchanges today brought to you by Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, as players are changing right here in front of us. And just wandering in, Lewis Benuto. Just offline. Is that a mark? Just through for 1 point there. Nice little chip out here. So They're out here through Jack Mooney. Just holding up, bit of tempo. Not sure about the handball to the boundary line. Go the boundary, you get the boundary. But, oh, gee, that's a big collision there to Harry Prosser against Brandon Smith. That was a very heavy collision.
Yeah, fair football collision, but that was pretty good courage from Prosser. It might not be his head. He might have just landed awkwardly on a leg there, I think, more than anything.
Yep, and Abe just says, listen, you wander off and I'll take the kick. And he is coming straight off Prosser, but I say he appears to be okay. It's more the corky rather than the head is what I'm alluding to there. So Haran electing not to come on, and coming on was Carlo Vacitis. He's wandering on. Davis goes long with that kick, which we are used to here. Colotto's back there, bounced off hands, couldn't get the second grab. And so another ball up here. Brandon Smith, who did apply that big tackle. Now Colotto comes out, so this is interesting. He's going to come a kick down the ground here. I'd like to see him pick up Abe Davis. He does too. He goes to him. Oh, a little soccer there by Pridham. He'd probably prefer the ball in someone else's hands, maybe the opposition, so he could tackle him, Pridham, but wouldn't surprise me if he tackled his own player. He's just a bull at it, isn't he, which is great to see. So there's the matchup we wanted. Colotto was on Davis. Now he points to someone else. He's asked Cameron Rankin, the captain today. Of course, Clayton Simons, who is the captain of Sacred Heart at the moment, one more week, we believe, before he's back in. So they're going to get stronger again as that ball rubbles around. Rankin it is. Just a handball to the ground doesn't help anyone. They're out here. Good running. Playing in front. Umpire called that play on. So daylight today, Adam, playing in front, very important as well. Running game.
Well,
Colotto in ruck.
Playing in front's important because of the tackling pressure around the ball, Tony, that those kicks will drop short.
Davis, third man up again. It happens week in, week out. Rankin now. Nice handball across. Just a hack kick forward. Oh, getting back and helping there, Zach Smith. Couldn't quite take the grab, but enough to get that quick handball over. Now they'll go down the ground here, Glenunga. This is how quick it can happen. 1-2, and that's a good turnover player. Tyson Coe was roaring out this side. They have maintained possession, so let's see how many possessions they can put together. They're spreading out this side of the ground as well. Left-footed kick, down. 2-on-2, out the back. Handball inside if you want it. And against, and I'll tell you what, Henry McAuliffe was all on his own in the middle of the ground here, but
haven't tried to switch a play yet, Sacred Heart. I know this oval's tight and Glenunga are good defensively, but I thought maybe they could have got an overlap and just tried to move the football around the other side.
Reckon they set up for it there too, Adam, and that's, kick into the player on the mark. It does happen. Hack kick forward. Scrambly at times. We haven't seen that 3 or 4 kicks in a row getting across. Gee, just holding on there and not trying to get it out.
Butted up well there, Ollie Cheeseman, after kicking the man on the mark. I'm assuming he won't make the same mistake again here. He'll get back and kick it long down the line.
So he does so. Nice kick. Probably 45 metres though, but they're fighting against themselves, Sacred Heart. I mentioned that earlier in the quarter, the amount of numbers back there. We'll just see where they're coming from. Tyson Coe on that left. They've come straight across. Oh, poor handball there. Player had to go back and get it. Gliding by though, Bowen Payne. Wriggles out of 1, past 2. Round he goes with a nice kick in. Oh, just on the line, is it? It is a goal. It is a goal. Great play by Bowen Payne. Could be a contender for our play of the day. And just having a look there, players just having a chat as that ball came in. So he went there, got through 1-2 on the left foot. Nice kick in. Player went after it. And that was Jackson Fox.
Yeah, we're trying to pick up who the player was. He's not a player I know a lot of, Fox. I'm not sure if he played earlier in the season, but just butted up well there, didn't he? I thought he was going to take the mark, but the Glenunga defender got a spoil in, but he was able to collect the ball at ground level. And Sacred Heart have got their second goal. And what's going to be an arm wrestle, Tony? I said an 8-goal-to-9 game type pre-match. It's on track for that so far.
Well, Bowen Payne, that could be a contender for the Neomorph mouthguard's magic moment. He wriggled his way through 1, 2, 3. Glenunga couldn't get a hand on him, and he's just at the back of this pack. Watch out for Davis. Here, there he is, just standing there all on his own. Look, comes towards him, and then he appeals to the umpire. Look, got the hands in the air. So if he doesn't get the ball, he's still in the game mentally, which is great to see, whether it's talking to the umpire or trying to put his opponent off. Just pushing on Coe there. Coe's not going to get near him. He is a strong player, Tyson Coe. But Abe Davis, what would he be, 6'2", 6'3" as well?
So Coe's only a school leaver, you're saying, Tony. He is a big boy for his age, isn't he? Yeah,
he is. Very good player. Just ragdolled a bit there by Davis. And I'd just like to see young Co maybe stand in front of him and cut his action so that Davis has to react rather than act. That's the only thing there, but doing a good job as Glenunga just chip outside here. Print him on the ground. Watch for number 1 here. No, he runs past the pack. Gee, caught between the feet there, Declan Fay. And Seb Kerry, she won't get away from him. Look at him, the rolling maul. And Bowen Payne on the bottom again, as well as Jack Mooney. Mooney now charges back to get on his player. Watch for Davis here. He's run into by his own player there. Round it comes. Players have to set for a long time under that ball. Gee, Zach Smith, he put the Jets on there. Geez, I'll tell you what, the big ruckman had to come into that one. Tom Butterworth rolling around. Boy, a lot of work going in there. Tom Butterworth again, second effort on the ground. Thomas Karlovasitis as well, doing a mountain of work.
You can see it's hard to break free, isn't it, Tony? A lot of numbers around the ball, so no handball chains and no switches of the play available in this game so far.
So Colotto ragdolled as well by Jordan West. Gee, that's, I reckon, just about a deliberate little kick there.
Might be last touch
that
anyway.
That will be, yeah. And the Sacred Heart coaching box next to us. Of course, they've got support off field as well. Quite happy with that as it comes into that centre forward, big pack forms. Anyone's ball on the ground. Oh, around the corner. Gee, Cameron Rankin, he's racking up the touches as well.
He's been good today, Rankin, so far, hasn't he? Been in and under and getting on the outside a little bit as well.
Yep, so we talk about our Moseley Bar and Kitchen Best Team Man Award, the Farmers Leap Winery Coach of the Week and Coach of the Year Award. Fantastic to have so many great sponsors on board. We can't thank them enough. So Davis, gee, that's close to the line here. The big ruckman sets himself, just paddles it over there, Jordan West. So he's coming from the boundary here, West. So if he gets a body and you think he's going to hit that inside, being held on to, so just taps it to his toes as siren goes. We have 2 goals straight to 2 goals 3 on our scoreboard. 12 plays 14. And we will take a short break.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back to Glenunga Oval, where we see the scoreboard. Glenunga 2 goals straight, 12, 2 goals 3, 15, 2 Sacred Heart. Adam, how have you seen it with the more inside 50s?
Yeah, so the inside 50 counts 10-8. It's quite low. We're seeing a real grinding type of game of football here. I did tip pre-match that we might see this type of football, an 8 or 9 goal game potentially could get the chocolates today. Both teams' goals aren't coming easy, Tony. Only one mark inside 50 for the game so far. But that's because there's a lot of numbers around the ball, so you can't handle chain out of stoppage. You can't switch the football, so everything's in a contest. So all the numbers today will be low, disposals, marks inside 50s. And then it comes down to taking your chances inside 50. I think it was Benuto had 2 set shots from the pocket. You've got to kick those goals today, Tony, if you want to win the match. So that's what it's all about. It's an arm wrestle. It's an old school defensive arm wrestle on a beautiful day for football. That's how these two teams play. That's why they're so successful. And when they play each other, what's the terminology, Tony? An immovable force against an impenetrable object or something? It's a little bit like that today. Both teams are so well drilled defensively and around the ball that it's going to be hard to put a score on the board. So if I'm a coach, I'm looking for an X factor forward who can bob up and kick 3 goals, who can take a half chance. That's what I'd be looking for.
And on that, I think it's called Kryptonite against Superman, isn't it? They need one piece. And I was just thinking as you were talking there, how long before we maybe see Abe Davis move forward? He does do that. He might kick you that 1 or 2. And
we played the whole quarter on ball, didn't he, Tony?
Lifter, yeah.
So didn't come off, just stayed on the ball the whole quarter.
Well, their goal scorers are Jack Scott and Jesse Temmie. So Harry Prosser, who scored the goals last week, hasn't been near it. Lincoln Bennett, we've seen at times. And, of course, we go across the Sacred Heart. Ethan Moore has 1 and Jackson Fox with 1. So well-held Colotto, but he gets down the ground. He's almost like 2 players in one, Colotto, and he's good. He's athletic around the ground. Zach Sanderson been good in defence at times, and then Zach Smith, the other one for Glenunga. So it's very even. Like you said, Benuto maybe with a couple of shots there. Bowen Payne, that nice dance around was fantastic there. Love that. Seb Kerrish started in the middle today. He may go down back at times. I think finding an answer to Abe Davis is going to be hard for Sacred Heart, but I think they're just playing their own game and perhaps getting on top in certain areas. I did write they were scrambling at times, both teams, and the skills at times for 2 top teams. We've seen, we've seen some of the handballs just go to ground that really should hit a target. But also, Adam, very much what you alluded to, neither team, there hasn't been that much switch of the play. It tends to be down that far side, at times down this wing. A couple of times, I will say, Sacred Heart have switched into the middle, but not the big back line where they kick from half-back flank to half-back flank or pocket to pocket.
They haven't been game to try it yet, Sacred Heart. Glenunga will always play that straight line to the contest. They won't over-switch the football, overuse it. They did a couple of times early in the quarter, try to handball out of stoppage where the coach just wants them to kick it forward. But interesting to see if Sacred Heart try and take it on. It's a risky game, Tony, on this tight oval because you go for the switch play in a low-scoring game, you can turn it over and go back the other way. So it's that risk-reward, isn't it? So who's going to break first? Glenunga will be happy if the style stays this way. Sacred Heart, will they be bold enough to try a few corridor and switch kicks?
The other bit, how have you seen the ruck? Because Jordan West, I reckon he's won probably 80% of the taps when he's been in there. They just can't capitalise on that, Glenunga. I don't think the clearances has matched the tapping that he's getting.
Nah, but that'll just be the case all day, Tony. With just the sheer volume of people around the ball, even a deluxe tap is just going to be getting into numbers. So it's just going to be one at ground level today.
So have a look here. On his right hand is Abe Davis, right next to the umpire, and next to him is Seb Kerrish. Good matchup. Kerrish is probably the running, get the ball out, whereas Davis will be in a straight line. Interestingly, no one in front of the Glenunga ruckman. So there he goes. That's why he just picks it up and kicks it towards centre half forward there. Bobbling around. Can they get a forward entry? And just held on to a touch. So that was interesting. No one in front of that tap. So were they perhaps going to both hit the same way? Davis now clears space for himself. The tap does go forward towards Pridham, who comes up from half forward. Hack kick, and we're right back to where the game started at the start of the second quarter, in that middle of the ground. Have a look at it, the rolling maul again. So just bobbling around there. Davis behind now, and Rankin comes to him. Up it goes, tap forward again by Glenunga. Third ball up in a row here. So let's see, is there width? There is width out this side of the ground. The wingers on the far side have come in, so there's space out there. Ruckman tries to grab it. This time it rolls out of his hands. Seb Kerrish says, gee, give it to me and I'll get tackled by the big bear.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? He was going to hack the ball out of the air, and Kerrish had the ball in his hand, so that would have been interesting if he followed through.
And he's already protecting the spot where that ball's dropping, Jordan West, so he doesn't have to move much. First to it, Colotto. He puts it right back into where all the traffic is. Coming forward there, Ben Dewhurst. It's over. It's on the ground inside the 50, right near that light pole there. Crowd there just out on their deck chairs, shielding the eyes. People still wandering in. And, gee, it's a battle. We've been going 1.5 minutes and the ball's been in that centre square most of the time. The first kick out and it's along the ground. So the migrating wildebeest, all the on-ballers wander down. There it is again. Out of the air, a bit like Tom Hawkins. Up and down, had to stay a long time under that. Brandon Smith, that was, trying to get it out. On the left foot, Glenunga. They go forward, everyone's up the ground. Gee, Temmie, can he get there? Can't quite. So getting the handball across. Getting out of trouble here. Sacred Heart. Is this the switch? No, it's not. Elects to go along the line. And just bumbling out of bounds on that far wing. Pardon me.
It is a tight, I've mentioned it a couple of times, Tony, it is a relatively tight oval space here. So maybe Sacred Heart have just decided they will play the game up the line. You can see the kicker's not even looking laterally on that occasion. And
numbers around the ball. Cheeseman came in from a long way back to get here. So a lot of players around this ball. If Davis even can get this out, it'll still go. Good contest here, Pridham. Gliding by, Glenunga support player. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. I'll tell you how good it's going to bounce. I reckon that might have been Huey DeSera there. Let's just have a look as we go back.
Might need a replay on that because that happened fast, didn't it?
There's only light player I can see him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's DeSera, number 2.
It was outside 50 there as well.
Yeah,
so
he was kicking it to the top of the square, to the one-on-one. Good to see Prosser back on the ground as well, Tony, after that heavy fall. Had a bit of work done. He's still a bit sore stretching. I think it was more of a back injury. We could see them working on him there, so that's not a good sign. He's just going to stay deep forward. But important goal. Again, Tony, it's a real arm wrestle, and there's no pretty football out here. It's just territory. And then Glenunga have taken their opportunities, 3 straight.
And as you alluded to, it wasn't actually a shot on goal. It was just kicking to that hot spot that rolled through. Big ruckman have to get up off the ground. Now it's Sacred Heart's way. Let's see what happens in the back line here. Player comes out. Nice little kick there by Tom Butterworth. Gee, coming inside again. Tom McDermott on the left boot. Over the back. Good grab. And that was Samuel Parsons.
They're the ones that McDermott would love to have back. He's got time and space. He's got to lower his vision, just quickly look sideways. It's easy in the commentary box, I know, but they've got to try and find a mark from those turnovers.
Parsons' long kick out there. Wow. Out towards the ruckman again. They're getting a lot of work, the ruckman. So this is maybe going to be interesting towards the end of the game whether fatigue will play a factor, because Jordan West at the moment is just right on top. You can see Bradley Noble in there.
It's a lot of wrestling, Tony, but it's not a lot of running because the ball's not moving fast end to end, right? So I think that's why they've decided that West can just stay out there and play.
There he is again, just ragdoll skates where he wants. Put the Glenunga's advantage on that far wing. Look at all the players running for this ball. They are everywhere. Like a herd of cows coming in to get milked. There's 100 of them there wandering in. And once again, so there's a line to the left and a line to the right of players and nothing in the middle of the ground here. So if Sacred Heart can get it and get it running, as they do, gee, run a long way there on that far wing. Takes one bounce now into this hot spot, about 40 metres out from goal. Up and down, players collide. Player back onto it. He's taken the ground very quickly. The cavalry came. Sacred Heart, can they get it out? Gee, waiting there was Brinkworth, didn't get to him. This way, that way, Seb Kerrish. Over it goes. Playing around with it a lot out on that far side. Kick under pressure. Just offline there. And that was Ben Dewhurst for first score to Sacred Heart this quarter. And
better build up there for Sacred Heart out of the stoppage. They were able to break free. He was able to bounce out of that stoppage. I believe it was McDermott again on his left leg. But kick to advantage, but another big spoil and a scrambled play.
It's just like the old kick. The amount of players and where this ball is going to go. Have a look at the amount of players just here and also off to the side. Colotto over the top. He does look inside Jordan. Yes, good switch. Luke Dewhurst. He comes out wide. Gee, lucky the player coming off the bench there. Tully Kennett almost got to him. So Tom McDermott. Can he do better this time on the left boot? Penetrating kick. straight to the Glenunga player, and Tom Butterworth is having a very good game at the moment. He's resounding in those packs, and that's a good mark cutting across. Kicks it high right in front of us on the wing, 2-on-1. On the ground that is. McDermott couldn't quite take it, and Ruckman already in play. Just looking around here because Jordan West, Noble, a bit slow to get back on him. A lot of space at the back. Have a look at over in the, just behind these players there. There's a big space. Another tap here to Glenunga. Soccer on the ground. Anyone's ball. Courage shown. Well done. That was guts there, Cameron Rankin. Then he punches the ground. That's probably the hardest hit he got in that whole bit of play there, was he punched the ground. So Davis now.
I think he was disappointed his teammate didn't get a touch on it to get the last touch out of bounds rule.
Davis now. Sort of seen this end to end. Yep. Chopping of the arm. So twice now we've seen the intercept mark. One by Butterworth, this time by Bradley Noble working back. So he's doing good work, Adam, to get back there and help out.
Always good when your ruckman gets back in the hole and chops out for your defenders.
You've got Collotto here and Davis lurking, and it comes that way. So this will be a good battle. Collotto will get a leap. 3 go up. Falling over backwards there was Samuel Brooks. Couldn't take it with him. They're hot on him. Look at that tackling. That's one-handed. He's going to go here, I'd say. Umpire says I'll have a ball up, and good tackle by Lincoln Bennett right in front of us. You can see Jordan West. He's going to come in. He's going to protect the spot. He protects it for Davis, and he's got caught shepherding. And that was there. You can see that happening.
Yeah, not sure he needs to do that. He's been able to grab it himself without doing that. I'd be leaving Davis on the ground, but...
So just a short kick now. It's starting to get a few possessions, Brad Noble, and that's maybe where he can win the ruck battle, not so much as a ruckman, but around the ground with the marking. But he hasn't moved from where that last kick was, whereas you can see here Jordan West already running into the middle of the ground. Ball on the far side. Moves across now, does Noble. He's back in that, really in that centre-half back, guarding that area on his own. Trouble with that, does he have to come in now and take the ruck as well? So he's trying to do 2 jobs in one. Leaving Jordan West. There's a little bit of byplay now starting to creep into the game. Alex Collotto down on the half-forward flank there. So in it comes. They do battle. Just another big pad out. Put it into congestion. Paddling forward. Big pack forms. Down on the ground there, Seb Kerrish. Tyson Coe trying to umpire. Nathan Grimer pacing the boundary line. There's a walking track there, Adam, along here at Glenunga, and I don't know that that's purposely built for the school or anything. It might just be for the coach pacing up and down as that ball 2-on-1 out that far side. There he is, and there's the walking track we're talking about, and he's on the phone. He's calling for help. Phone a friend. Checking scores, talking to Abe. It's all happening.
He'll have a live... They have stats people on their bench, yes. Tony, and he has a live feed of the stats straight to him. It's just to let everyone know at home he's not watching the Morphettville Race 5. He is engaged in this game, keeping an eye on the stats. Where can he make a move?
So, ball far side. High, long. That's not a bad kick. I don't mind that because that's going to take 2 kicks to get back here for Sacred Heart. If they get possession, they do. There's the first kick, and that's only a scrambly 20 metre one. Glenunga trying to get it out. Player out this side of the pack, around the corner to Silva. And once again, nice mark in defence by Sacred Heart. They come out wide, McDermott. So will they load up here? He looks to the boundary, goes inside, drops it short, made it hard there for Benudo. Handball to no one. Collotto's going to have to come in and try and help out. Smith goes long. That's what they want, Glenunga, that long high kick in. Will they get numbers to the ground? I mentioned this in the first quarter, the amount. Oh, nice smother.
Oh, wow.
Nice smother. That's Lincoln Bennett.
That's a contender.
Sensational.
Yeah, that's a great play by Lincoln Bennett. They were clearing the ball there. They were outnumbered, and when you smother, there's a bit of luck associated with the ball just bobbing straight back into your hands, but that is a play of the day so far for Lincoln Bennett. Watch this, the big smother.
Well done.
And the ground ball pick up and the snap. That's great football by Bennett. Well done. You can see the difference there, Tony. On the last 3 or 4 entries for Glenunga, the opposition were able to intercept, but this time they got the ball on the ground and they're able to put some pressure on. So that is a neomorph mouth guard, early contender for player of the day.
Fantastic, wasn't it? And the scoreboard just creeping along, isn't it? 4 goals straight, Glenunga. 2 goals for, so 4 shots to 6 as we speak. 8-point lead there. Again out of the ruck, Jordan West. Bang. Into that forward line. Can they get a quick 2 in a row? It'll be the first time today. Pridham can't get hold of Darcy Glyas. He hoists that ball high out there on that far wing. Oliver Cheeseman takes that, but he's running horizontal straight across the ground. He couldn't turn his body and gets caught. And, well, they'll load up again. Gee, player inside Cooper Brinkworth screaming for it. Still there if he wants it. A little bit more of an angle. Is that player now? Ball in hand for Sacred Heart. He's looking sideways. Goes along. Half forward line. Player down on ground. Oh, Davis took off then, expecting Glenunga to get it. They're out now. That's a high kick out that far side. Is it going to stay in? It's going to be another kick this time, Darcy Glyas.
I'd love to get a Dartfish stat on this maybe tomorrow, Tony, after the game's been coded, on how many stoppages there are in this match. I reckon it would be one of the highest for the season. So a lot of stop plays.
Yeah, because filming footy stats, we are the leaders in footy stats at grassroots level Australia-wide. Oh, just another turnover and not a good way to land on the ground there. And that's Tom Butterworth. I think he's
been good, Butterworth,
hasn't
he?
Good game.
And he copped a heavy hit on the fall there. But it looks like he's right to go. Good on him. Great mark.
Kicking the right way as well, so he might be all right there, we hope. Wish him all the best. And Zach Smith in the wars a little bit out there, just feeling his ankle. Keep an eye on that because the big ruckman now comes off Jordan West. I reckon that's the first time off the ground. It might have been off.
Would be.
Yeah,
just as
Sam Abel come on.
Just as the stoppage was happening on the far side of the ground, so we might have to, maybe Davis might have to go up here.
Yeah, sets himself.
He likes these situations, Davis. He'll look to grab it out of the ruck if he can.
Second tap there by Noble over the top. The runners, 1-2. Handball outside. This is Rankin. Takes a bounce. They close in on him. On that left boot, gee, kicks it high. It doesn't make it easy for the forwards. Oh, all over the player there for Glenunga. Not receiving the free. Good battle on the ground. Sacred Heart player picks it up and he's dragged with one arm pinned. And good player. I reckon it might have been Thomas Braun down there. Geez, good recovery.
Thought Parsons was a little bit stiff there. Definitely looked like a bit of a hold and over the shoulder, but play on.
So there is Sam Abel in the ruck now, up against Colotto. Gee, look at the numbers again around the ball. Gee, Colotto hit that inside. So that just sending that sign there. I wonder where this next is. Just looking behind him there. So he's facing away from his goals here.
They did get a goal from this situation to start the game as well, didn't they, Tony? So Glenunga will be onto it.
So straight into Davis. So this is an interesting little bit of byplay. You can see Colotto facing the away from his goals. Probably up against Davis, I would suggest. Look at Colotto setting himself. Now he runs in, probably take it out of the... Yeah, he does. Or Davis just goes bang. Gets it across Seb Kerrish on the left foot too. Tries to get around one, does so. Sets it up now high. Up it goes, big punch. And through it goes. Gee, Seb Kerrish, I thought he might have had a look at them goals there, but we're only in here. He's out there, isn't he?
Yeah, it was good unselfish play, but I think in a game that's so tight and tough, if you are within 40 and you can see the goal, he's entitled to have a shot on that occasion.
So we haven't seen many kick-ins. I'm always interested in the play. I know Glenunga a lot of the time do go long, but that first one, most teams will give you the first one more probably diagonal than this, but he is back in that pocket now. Player just goes long down the boundary. Congestion again. Who's got the better clearance here? Pridham's in here. Loves the tackle. In he goes. And that's, that's Alex Colotto playing in the ruck, and he's covered a lot of ground. I keep saying it. He's facing away from his goals. Taps backhanded. Bit of a volleyball tap there. Glenunga now come forward. It's going to bounce. Good battle here. 1-on-1. Maybe a 2-on-2. Players come in. Strong tackle. Lincoln Bennett. You won't get away from him. And yeah, all players are okay to get up there. They spread now, a lot of the players. Colotto again in ruck. On the ground. Davis off 1 foot. Floating kick. Inside. Oh, up high. Unable to take it. Sean Tapp. Can they get it out here? Sacred Heart, one handball. Tyson Coe over. He's got to come and support. He's got to come and help. There's no help there. Players spread now and able to do his own thing. Thomas. And a grab there. Thomas, Carlo Vasidis, he left that contest to come and get the ball, and Tyson Coe was caught standing. A handball behind, and that quick come in. The quick kick came in, Adam, and that's what can happen, Glenunga.
Yeah, classic Glenunga football. Caused the turnover, kicked the ball back to the hot spot. Prosser, I think, is playing a little bit sore at the moment. Hasn't left the deep 50 post, but took a nice contested mark. It's Glenunga's first mark inside 50 for the game, Tony. So that gives you a bit of an indication onto how the game's been played. A real arm wrestle.
So should walk his way through this one. Prosser does so. Kicks the goal, but very impressed. It's a little 1%ers today, I think, that are going to win this, and that Thomas Carlo Vasidis effort. You talk about effort from players. He probably ran 20 or 30 to come and get that ball, and just that quick kick in, and he's playing on the wing here. Good battle with Dewhurst, but well done.
So it's been a real arm wrestle. Both teams have had their chance, but Glenunga have kicked 3 straight goals in this quarter to 2 behind. So they're just taking those little opportunities inside 50. Now, in an arm wrestle game, I think Sacred Heart would like the next goal, because Glenunga can shut a game down, Tony, if they get that 3 or 4 goal buffer. So
player on player here. The 2 Glenunga players are back end side, if you like, of their opponents. So a little bit of tactics in the middle. Round it comes Thomas Bilby. Had a very good first quarter, did Bilby. Out in front of Prosser, tests that ankle out here. He just pulls up there as that ball shoots about 10 metres away from him. And a little bit of relief here for Sacred Heart, but it's the next kick after this. So they've...
Again, there's no one available on a switch, so it just has to go down the line.
Gee, picked it out there, didn't he? 2 on 1. This is the one that's going to be important. They're on the half-back flank here. Little one there.
You can see that's the kick that Glenunga don't want to give up, because it just opens the field a little bit, Tony.
Gee, caught flat-footed there was Brandon Smith. He could be run down here. Watch out for Bennett coming in. He comes around the corner very close to the boundary. Good one-on-one here. Unable to take it. They'd be happy with that, Sacred Heart, on a day like today, because it's 2 kicks back for Glenunga. Darcy Glyce coming in on that one. So this is where they could get on top with Colotto in ruck. He's working hard. Does get the tap. Puts it out in front. Davis unable, but very close on that with a little bit of pressure, and that's what happens with pressure. Great work by Aid Davis. Once again, a 1%er on the player with the ball. It's fantastic work.
Can give Abe Davis kudos for that. He's not a guy that just trots around the field and gets a few kicks. He does put pressure on when it's his turn.
He's on his own. Well, he's got Glyas now coming to him. He's a big player. They put it up in the air. Colotto's in front, over the back. Nice mark. Zachary Sanderson, the backman. Colotto just coming off for rest here, changing with Bradley Noble. Noble just wanders on. Just a kick down the line there. Couple of numbers there for Glenunga. Just slipping there was Huey DeSura, and they're all calling.
Bit of advice for the umpire there, but I thought that was the right call. There's too many numbers around that to pay holding the ball for mine.
Interesting interchange there. Tully Kennett, number 3, has just come on and sprints straight down into that pack. You can see him there in this pack. Here he is here, applying the tackle to Glyas there. And so Wakefield, of course, our interchanger. Fantastic sponsors. Up it goes. Look at Davis. Look at the mismatch he's got there. Glenunga just hack it forward. Just a double-handed tap there by Lincoln Bennett. You can hear the coach applauding a double-handed tap over the boundary line, Adam. So that's how much this game is a tight contest. He's back on here, big Jordan West.
Yeah, he'll be fresh to finish the quarter, but they're happy to play the stoppage game. It gives Sacred Heart no momentum to play with at all, Tony.
So up it comes. Gee, good little backhander there, Bradley Noble, but it wasn't really a tap to anyone. It was a win in the ruck tap. Oh, gee, ragdoll over there. Big Abe Davis picks him up and throws him over. And that's just the size of the man. And Ethan Moore plays on now, comes inside. High kick, inside 50. Big pack forms, hands go up. Down it comes, 1, 2. Hack out of the square. Thomas Bruin into the square now. Oh, held on to there.
Note the move there of Sean Tapp up to full forward for Sacred Heart, the usual full-back, centre-half back for Sacred Heart. Be interested to see if that was just a late quarter move or whether that will stick.
So Huey De Silva's getting a few touches as well. I've liked his game today, himself and, of course, Tom Butterworth. Ball rolling around now. A lot of players around it. Hack kick forward. Here comes Pridham and just out of bounds there. Is it downfield?
Might be a downfield in the pocket here. If you're smart, you need to get a left footer to go and grab that ball. And I think Pridham is a left footer.
Yep.
So that's worked out well for Glenunga.
I thought he was chasing that ball fairly quickly as it was going out of bounds.
He's like, I'm a left footer, I can grab this, which is smart play, team play.
Let's have a look. He runs around. He gets the wrong end of it, so he kicks it across the goes down on one knee, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. Listen to the crowd going off down there as well.
Need to hold firm here, Sacred Heart, Tony. I know it's a low-scoring game and you've still got time to come back, but if they find themselves 19 points down at half-time, it'll be a long way back in a low-scoring arm wrestle. Need to hold firm and try and get a goal on the rebound.
Jordan West down here, one kick out as well, so he's getting a good rest. So the backhand again. Davis can't quite get purchase on the ball. He goes again because he's sniffing at him. He's near the goals. Look at the big fella. Don't be surprised if he can snavel one here. He might be third one up and just do it all on his own. Let's have a look. He's probably going to have to take the ruck. Pushes hard. There it is. Waited for the drop of the ball. Can they get it out? 1-2. Gee, they go back inside where the traffic is. Gee, tentative bounce there by Ben Dewhurst. Kicks diagonally across that half-back flank. Up it goes. Down it comes. Kerrish couldn't. Bowen Payne couldn't. Oh, strong tackle in there. And down on the ground. So just have a look here. Abe Davis is going to come across.
Won't be a long quarter either, will it, Tony?
No.
So there's probably only a matter of 2 minutes to go here.
Well, he didn't quite. He's just hung off the back of this pack here. The spare ruckman's down here. Probably about 30 metres inside this. You can just see him there walking past now. And that is Jordan West. Remember Archie's thongs for our player of the day. Best player wins the Belgravia Apparel New Balance $100 voucher. Archie's footwear and iconic Dartfish beanie. Adam Jeffries, of course, will be adjudicating as that ball goes out of play in front of Charlie Pridham, who's been bouncing around lively on that far side. Gee, Bradley Noble up against it. Step back, go in and run and take an athletic jump at him, mate. You're never going to beat him in this body on body. And he wins. There's what happens. Commentators curse. So, another ball up. A lot of these ball ups, Adam. Second and third ball ups within a minute or two of each other.
I want that count tomorrow, Tony. How many stoppages in this match?
Well, the filming footy stats will bring you that. Of course, 1,500 to 2,000 events in a game. Design your own playlist, individual and team stats, all tied division. The umpires will probably have a look as well because they're getting the most possessions as we speak. Hack out. Just trying something different. And we'll get a ruck throw in. Will we, or will be a free kick? So that was a hack out in the last possession.
Last touch out of bounds. So yeah, they need to defend grimly here and tap his forward of the ball and not able to be down back and spoil this ball. So they'll go to the hot spot, look for a mark, if not a crumb. Just over the top, lurking was Pridham and just walked over. You can see that kick, Tony, goes deliberately to the pocket. You ask why. It's so they can defend the ground now. They go to stoppage, and it's almost impossible for Sacred Heart now to go end-to-end with the sheer congestion around this ball.
So exactly as you said, numbers around the ball. Someone's on the move out there. Is it Desira? Oh, taking the ground. Goes to ground. 1-2 over the top. Bit of manhandling there. You've got to be careful, so close to goals. 24 minutes, 45 seconds gone. 5 goals, 30 plays, 2-5-17. Umpire says, I'm going to reverse back. Beep, beep, beep. There he goes. Ball in a dangerous position. Glenunga. This is where they wanted Adam. Watch out for Abe Davis. Oh, he's on the wrong side of this to do a third man up. Unless he's going to hit it the wrong way. Well, he's in the ruck there. Ball on the ground. Gee, I'll tell you what, there's twice as many legs as there are bodies out there. It's hard to see who's got that ball. That was Brandon Smith.
You hear the coach yell out there. There's a minute 20 to go, so Sacred Heart cannot concede a goal here.
And exactly as you alluded to, Adam, it's just sitting there. They can't get this ball out. Look at Davis. He's just directing.
Glenunga would love to score a goal, Tony, over there. Happy not to concede from this point.
Ooh, a lot of pushing and pressure there. Just off the boot there, Tyson Coe.
I believe that was touch, so it won't be a last touch. No, it will be a last touch. Yeah, I thought I heard a touch off the boot there.
I think you're correct. Umpires are just looking now. I think they're adjudicating that.
Sounded like I went to third slip for mine. Tony, so I think we should have a ball in here, not a
No,
last
they're
touch
gonna-
free kick.
Going to give a kick
Okay.
in front of the.
Well, they're closer than we are, so we'll go with it. What can Cheeseman do here? There's no room to pinpoint a pass. He's got to go to a dangerous spot.
Davis up high, down low. Oh, Prosser couldn't quite. And, well, they'll be happy with that Sacred Heart. Can they maintain possession, not get a late one through here?
You can hear the call from Sacred Heart. They don't want to concede a turnover here. So it's a defensive mindset, Tony. Not everybody loves it, but the last thing Sacred Heart can do here is concede a goal.
Gee, you had a player free there, Brandon Smith, but I wouldn't have gone short. That's a great kick out. Just get it out there, get the numbers around the ball. Oh.
But you can see Glenunga have the two closest players to Sacred Heart's goal as well. So this is shut up shop for the quarter.
Up it goes. Clear tap there. Noble. Gee, Cameron Rankin again. It's been very good for them today. He just needs a couple of glide bys to get that out. Maybe if they can get a couple of links going. Seb Kerish here.
Kerish a couple of times has been able to break free, hasn't he? He's probably been the one player that has found a bit of time and space for Sacred Heart.
He's on the bench here at the moment. So there's the Jordan West with probably the 8th time he's just taken that ball out of the ruck. Another throw up. Just Abe Davis. Hanging and hovering. Gee, there's a lot of players around that ball. Look at them all milling around. Free kick here to Glenunga. One last load up, and it's Lincoln Bennett.
Might be too late, I think.
Just setting himself up. The big ruckman's gone forward here. Jordan West. He's right in the middle of this pack. Just puts a fist up, punches to the boundary. And there it is. Half time, 27 minutes 50. Glenunga 5 goals, 1. 31. Leading Sacred Heart 2 goals, 5. So only 2 points that quarter. 17. So a 14-point lead to Sacred Heart as we speak. Sacred Heart's goal scorers Ethan Moore with 1. Jackson Fox with 1. For Glenunga, Hugh DeSera 1. Lincoln Bennett 1. Harry Prosser 1. Jack Scott 1. And Jesse Temmie with 1. And we will take a break and be back with the big second half in what's proving to be a very tight game here at Webb Oval.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
Do you belong in a role that drives you? In a community that makes you proud? In a team that brings out your best? You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back to Glenunga Oval in a very tight contest as we speak. 5-1 plays 2-5, so 6 scoring shots to 7. But Sacred Heart just cannot find an avenue to goal. Adam?
No, well, they can't find a lot of open play or inside 50s, Tony. They only had 6 inside 50s in the second quarter for 2 behind. So, again, Glenunga, even with their undersized defence, it's not about the one-on-one matchups down back, it's about the messy ball that continues to come in. So, yeah, it's an interesting game here. We've got a few interesting games happening in the other venues, Tony.
Yeah, so Prince Alfred 6-8, 44, Golden Grove 7-4, 46, so 14 scoring shots to 11. That's at Prince Alfred Park 9, which I thought might have been a bit of an even upper today. How are you finding that one, half-time in that big game?
Yeah, Prince Alfred are always pretty solid at Park 9, aren't they? Golden Grove need to go and win that game, though, don't they? Then that log jam in the middle, it's one of those ones that they need. Prince Alfred have lost 4 in a row.
Broadview 4-6-30, Spock 8-6-54. Ever since I wore the scarf on the footy show, they've found their winning ways so far. 24 points up, of course, half-time.
Yeah, that's surprising for mine. Broadview have had some up and down results, haven't they, Spock? They're capable of that, though. I've seen them play a couple of times, and they're all right.
Brighton 1 goal down against Tea Tree Gully at Brighton, 6-4 to 7-4. 40 plays 46.
Brighton at home can be a dangerous team. Can they keep the scoreboard ticking over enough to beat Tea Tree Gully?
And, Port District 4-9, so 13 scoring shots to Payneham Norwood Union 8-5, 13 scoring shots, 34 plays 53, 19 points in arrears. Port at home.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where Payneham Norwood were going to be able to kick scores like that in a half of footy this year, Tony. But that's a good start for them. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye. We've got a real arm wrestle happening here, but we'll have one eye on the other venues as well.
Yes, I can tell you, Declan Fay is out of the game by the looks of things. I walked down there at half time and he's sitting on a seat. He was limping quite badly and just sitting back on a seat looking a bit dejected with, I think, some family members. So that's one less now for Glenunga on the interchange bench, and they are up at the moment. They kicked the 3 goals straight to 2 points in the last quarter. So if we look at their scoring shots, 2 versus 5 in the first quarter, Sacred Heart led by 3 points, and then that quarter they tightened themselves up, so they had 4 scoring shots to 2, which isn't a lot really. It hasn't really broken out, and of course they lead now by the 14 points in a Dow battle.
Yeah, it certainly is a Dow battle, but it was a Glenunga quarter for mine, Tony. You know, Sacred Heart want to play, win a little bit more space with a little bit more flair, but they're just not allowed to, and their forwards just can't really get a crack at it with some ball coming in their way. It's only messy football coming in. So it'd be interesting to see. He did move Tap from his centre-half back position to full forward. That's an interesting move for mine. I don't mind trying something in a low-scoring game. They don't have a big forward line, Glenunga, so maybe Tap doesn't have a match-up today. But for mine, it's with messy ball coming in, you need one of your small forwards to grab hold of the game, Tony. And so I'm looking around the field. Is there a player you can... There's so much congestion around the ball, Tony, so it's very difficult for your star players to impact in that. But when the ball squirts away from the stoppage, can you look at putting your talented players away? Like we saw Luke Brown last week. A lot of coaches would play him in that congestion, play him out of the congestion so he can impact. So I would be having a bit of a look at that if I'm Sacred Heart. Could Kerrish go inside 50?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's not able to break free around the stoppage, but if he gets a one-on-one with his leg speed inside 50, Tony, he's the type of player that could kick 3 goals and a half.
The other one I'd like to see a little bit more of for Sacred Heart, I know it's his first year of senior football, but I know Tyson Coe is a real good runner. So he's
You're a rap for him as well, aren't you, Tony?
Yeah,
you like him.
He can work from between the back line to the forward line, not so much just in around the stoppages, but get him running. He's a great user of the ball, a beautiful kick. He's got a man's body, so he can hold himself up in a tackle, but he can be that connection or that conduit player. Alex Collotto's trying very hard around the place. The 2 Dewhurst brothers, of course. Bradley Noble in the ruck. Just take us into that ruck. When he's not up against Big Jordan West, he's occasionally winning some taps.
I think both ruckmen have been pretty solid, and both have had a couple of touches around the ground, Tony, which is what you want. And I can see interesting, Tap is going back to full forward. So I don't mind trying something. Again, I'd be looking at one of my creative small players maybe to go forward as well.
So Tap and Collotto down there. Siren umpire holds the ball aloft. You talked about Glenunga going down the hill. They'll do that in the last quarter as that ball goes up in the middle. Hits the ground, then paddles the ball to West and immediately taking the ground. Cameron Rankin, one of the better players as well for Sacred Heart so far during this game. As well, they both hit that one way. Davis gets it. That's a high kick. The players are having to charge out. I'll tell you what is happening. Tom McDermott's going back to help out very quickly on this wing, playing a defensive wing, and you can see here just trotting in. Ryan Werfel off the half-forward flank is just coming into the back of this pack. So there's your congestion right there.
Yeah, there's no lateral players at all, is there, Tony?
There he is, just as we speak. So he's ran away from where that ball's come to. They're better off staying out a little bit wider. And here we go. Seb Kerris, the man you spoke about.
He's the game breaker, isn't he?
Well, we need him to be kicking this ball, but also, ironically, to be down where this ball lands as a crummer. So that was interesting. I could see, they couldn't quite, I could see what was trying to happen there. So Sean Tapp ran forward and he was pointing behind him for Collotto to come through.
What they're looking for is a mismatch here. So with the two tools now, Glenunga undersized, it's maybe Collotto will get the second defender, Tony. That's what they're looking at and might be able to take some marks inside 50. Let's see how it unfolds.
Another tap, of course, to Glenunga. Forcing his way through. Zach Sanderson. Big collision there at centre half forward. Bang! Came Ethan Moore around the corner. It's going to bounce. So, as you alluded to in that first quarter, Adam, inside 50s already. I know we're only a minute and a half in, but...
First two to Sacred Heart. Just need that quick early goal. It's not a big margin, is it, Tony? It feels like Glenunga are a few up in a low-scoring game, but you kick 2 goals in 3 minutes and you're back into it.
And they've shown that they can do it. Oh. They've shown that they can get that ball in. There's this long kick out. Look at the big pack form. The big ruckman goes up, paddles that down with his hand, getting a kick out. Samuel Parsons. More numbers here. There's a bit of a box on here to the left, Adam. You keep an eye on that, mate, and I'll watch to the right here. So Jordan West didn't know whether to go into the blue and help his teammate out or come into the ruck. He runs in now. Look at him there. And Abe Davis goes up. That was interesting. Oliver Cheeseman gets it forward inside the 50. A little bit of feeling in the game. This way, that way. Handball to himself. Desira around to Samuel Parsons on the left foot. Anyone's ball. Had to bend down. Pick that up. Lincoln Bennett couldn't get it up. And he's a little bit ginger behind the play. They're out again. Neat kick by Sacred Heart there. Oh, just running across, just a dour effort by Tom Butterworth there. So they get it inside 50 and it comes straight back out again very quickly.
I thought Glenunga were going to get the goal in the goal square there with the little give on the up from Bennett, isn't it?
Yep.
Just got a desperate hand in there, Sacred Heart. They couldn't concede a goal there on their first entry, could they?
So the runner roaring out again. Let's see what's going on there as it comes forward here. Sacred Heart can know that up. Collotto's bounced out of it and then he's down on his knees. He's at the back of this pack. Calling for Cameron Rankin, calling for the umpire to make a decision. Bang! Player slammed to the ground. It's just picked up a little bit here.
Slam tackle there. Not quite. Just put him to the ground neatly in the end.
Space in the middle of the ground here. Back in the country, they used to say, go to the umpire. There's an umpire standing all on his own here. And no one near him. Plenty of space there as a free kick comes out. Sacred Heart, again, can they come inside? They're looking.
Just having a quick look, but they're not prepared to take it on at the moment.
Not wide enough out here either. So the kick goes down the half-forward line. Collotto up, down in front of the Glenunga faithful out there.
Just a touch on it there. I thought it was going to be last toucher on the full. But yeah, it's been hard for Coach Collotto to have those one-on-one marking contests today, hasn't it? Zach Smith's worn him like a glove, and he's undersized as well. Because the ball comes in a straight line, it's much easier to defend. And the two talls are pretty much, they're only about 5 to 8 metres off each other. You would like to see a bit more distance, stretch them out, one at centre forward, one at full forward perhaps. So Glenunga bobbling around there. Davis goes the wrong way, has to go back and get his own ball from a handball. He points down the wing and that's where the player goes. It's Sacred Heart at the back of this pack. Which way is the umpire going to go? Well, 50-50. No whistle.
No. Sacred Heart, touched the ball on the ground there. Quick bomb in, that's gone high, wide and handsome. And that's over into the seesaws and the swings and mothers and fathers. And look at the kids over there, not even aware there's a game of footy going on. Having a ball down there.
Good to see the Oz kick at half time, Tony. It's a smart initiative by clubs to get junior players out to watch the A grade. I think it's fantastic.
I wandered down to the club and I still couldn't get a kick with the Oz kickers. I'll tell you what, struggling now. Down the wing, there's Davis again. How have you seen his game today? He's been industrious, I'd say.
Yeah, look, he hasn't been a standout. He's tried hard. He's probably ended up being the leading possession winner out there. He still gets the ball. We have such a high bar for him, don't we? He can have 30 and we can say he's been quiet, but he hasn't been able to break free and hit the scoreboard yet.
There's another 50-50 kick, just 2 steps bang. Cameron Rankin gets hand to ball, punches it. See the old steel sign there, Webb Oval, standing up about 8 feet above the people there. And because our interchange brought to us by Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic.
I think they'll leave Davis on the ball whilst they've got the lead. If they feel like they need a goal, Tony, I think they might look to use him forward. But he hasn't come off much and he hasn't rested forward.
So the spare out the back of this pack, you can see Thomas Bilby's one, but there's another player about 10 metres behind him free here for Glenunga. I actually think that's an odd position because unless they get a handball back to him, he's going to be caught between a kickback. That player, we'll see who that is in a minute. Up it goes. There's the bloke I was talking about. It goes straight to him, but it was a hat kick. But I did spot him back there, and that's his role. Get it in quick. Bennett gets a foot to it. Can they get it to Pridham? Anyone's ball on the ground. Big, strong tackle again. And that's Thomas Bilby.
So not much has changed, has it, Tony? It's an arm wrestle. It's a contest. It's a stoppage. It takes some territory.
So now Davis is the player behind the ball here. Just interested in that setup. There he is there. So twice now, the players that have been in that setup have got the ball. So this time, puts his head down, Cameron Rankin. Interesting. Blind handball, inside 50, 2-on-2. Anyone's ball, hits a player on the head. Sacred Heart, now they're trying to get a switch. They go backwards. That was all right. Left-footed kick here. Over the top it'll be. Oh, a player went horizontal there. Gee, Rankin again. Oh, nice hands there. Great work, Jackson Fox. Right on this wing. He looks inside. Goes diagonally to centre half forward. Well-weighted kick. He's off. That is Elijah Lowby. What a great kick, and that is a team lifter. Quick play by Sacred Heart. They get it down there. And that's what you want to see. Get it down there and score. Don't get it down there and play around with it. Gee, Adam, from one end of the ground to the other quite quickly. How did you see that one?
I keep the score sources here, Tony, on how goals are scored, whether from turnovers, stoppages or end-to-end. It's the first time today the ball's transitioned from the defensive 50 to a goal. So that's a good sign for Sacred Heart. Really good kicking board. I think it was Jackson Fox who took the contested mark on the wing and he wheeled around quickly and laced out the pass to centre half forward. So that's their best passage of play for the day. Well done, Sacred Heart. 7 points the difference.
Nice goal too in the end. So they're forward again here through Cameron Rankin, who's really having a good quarter and a good game. Up and down it goes. 1-2, around the corner, Tully Kennett in a panic kick. They're backing up here, Sacred Heart player. One quick handball. Round goes Lewis Benuto. Up, it's down. Colotto, just a flick over the head, expecting the glide by that wasn't there. It's caught on the 50.
It's amazing, Tony. That one goal just gives you a bit of momentum, doesn't it? You get a centre clearance and then you're in attack again. So Sacred Heart up and about now.
To yet again, Rankin. I tell you what, yet again, but just through for a point, just offline there.
So it is 6 inside 50s to 2 this quarter. So Glenunga have been a little bit under the pump. I'm unable to clear the ball, unable to find a winner in their forward half so far.
So let's see. Normally, as I said, well, they did me wrong last quarter. They did do one short, but a long one now. Ruckman in front. Gee, just forced out through weight of numbers. Congestion again on the ground. A couple of umpires out there being players, calling to be umpires. You can see the numbers around the ball again. Where's the free area? Gee, once again. Oh, that's a quick handball out by Jordan West. Certainly protects that space. Looking around, surveying the area. Bradley Noble helping his teammate up, and a pretty valuable player, mind you, Cameron Rankin. You got nutted on the top of the head there as that kick comes in. Anyone's ball. 2 players for Sacred Heart on the ground. Gee, oh, almost a glide by. Out it comes through Thomas Braun. High kick though. It's up, it's down. Round and round. Over the top now, Sacred Heart. That's Tom McDermott. Caught on his wrong side. Nice pickup by the Glenunga player. 1-2 handballs. Pridham couldn't. Back onto it again. Pressure by Sacred Heart. I think they've lifted a touch at him.
So what happens in these arm wrestle games, Tony, as the match goes on and it gets closer towards the final siren, the intensity goes up because either team can still win. And it's one goal either way can change the whole dynamic. Sacred Heart, 1 goal in the quarter, but you'd swear they'd kick 5 on the trot the way they're going.
A lot of numbers there. It's on that far side. It's going to bounce out of bounds. There's that magnificent steel sign again.
Again, they just need a small forward, don't they? It's so hard to take a mark inside 50. There's still only been 2 for the match, Tony, unbelievably, in the halfway through the third quarter. 2 marks inside 50 for the game.
So here's another inside 50 entry. Up it goes, and exactly what you've called, Adam. That is spot on. And I'll tell you what, he might go close here. You spoke about his kicking earlier.
He's got the range here. Down the
Carlotto.
hill, that 50-metre arc feels like about 45 down the hill here, Tony.
Yep.
So Carlotto's got the journey. The movers work. What Tap's doing is he's taking another tall defender away. So Alex Carlotto's had a few one-on-ones and he was able to drift to the front of the pack there.
So wanders in, gets plenty on it. That's a high kick, just offline. But they are scoring freely. 1 goal, 3 again. So for this quarter, nice kick by Carlotto, but just offline.
8 inside 50s to 2, Tony, for the quarter.
Wow.
So they're really on top here, Sacred Heart.
Yeah, they could rue this if they can't get a wriggle up on that scoreboard. Up it goes, high over the back there with Samuel Parsons. Just waiting there on the ground, Prosser. Push forward here, Thomas Bilby. Been industrious as well. I like the start to his game. And certainly like that one to get in over the ball early.
He's a strong body player. Bilby's always in and under bottom of the packs.
Davis again, third man up. Umpire's gone down. He's up again. Around the corner it comes. Too close to the boundary line. What's the umpire touched? He says. So Glyas it was, Darcy Glyas, kicking that great goal
Yes.
earlier in the quarter. Cheesy, yeah. He's exactly right. He's on his own. Does what he wants from there, Cheeseman. They go forward here, though. Good paddle by Desira to keep it in. He did work well there to keep that in front of him. And then followed it up.
So we call that stoppage role you've been alluding to, Tony, as a sweeper. It's to ensure that the opposition cannot get a handball chain away. So he'll hold his ground. If he gets a hat kick, he'll take it, but he's there to stop the opposition handball chaining through the corridor.
Oh, around the corner. That's gone fairly wide there through Thomas Bilby. So Brandon Smith will load up.
So 9 times out of 10, Sacred Heart would look to switch this football, Tony, but no opportunities to do so today.
It's going to be a battle, you know. Is it a prelude to some of the finals that we're going to see? Gee, that's going to come a long way back. Good hands. Samuel Brooks. Don't panic is the call. I don't need to say it.
I believe he's on debut as well today. It's a really good intercept mark there.
It's good size too. Just you can't help that. Kick to the pack, which is what they're instructed to do. And good grab by Ben Dewhurst on the left foot.
They'll be disappointed with that, Glenunga, Tony. No contest inside 50.
Just running out there, Sam Bruin. Now possession football. 1, 2, 3. Handball comes. There's the player I was talking about. Tyson Coe has that link. Ball is on the ground now. So this is where the disconnect come. Can they get another one up? They can. That's McAuliffe around the corner. Bang. Brooks, who we just saw a moment ago, down here taking marks. So turnover again. Bowen Payne. It's play between the 50s. Big punch at the back. Can they do something with it? McDermott on his left gives it to Coe, and he's immediately met and tackled the ground strongly by Oliver Cheeseman. And, well, Adam, you picked it. That man off the back of the pack. It wasn't so much off the back of the pack, but that's what he's there for. Big, strong tackle.
They nearly out were against Sacred Heart, weren't they, Tony? But the one too many handballs, and Glenunga were onto him.
Tully Kennett there, just on to Pridham, who's been quiet this quarter. Over it goes to Dewhurst. Long handball to a player. Just released it out on that far wing. Left foot kick. Long and high. Down towards 50. It's a battle between the 50s. It's backwards and forwards. Davis has it now. He comes to this side. Can they run and carry? It's going to bounce okay. That looks like Desira. Kicks it on. Nice work. It was Cheeseman actually. Inside here, Jesse Temmie. That's the big high kick. Do they get a mark this time? Does it come undone? Anyone's ball, Desira. Oh, good swat there. That'll do. Around the corner, under pressure. Sacred Heart. Far side. It's got the Jets on, Thomas Bilby. He's going to have time to load this up. Probably could have a shot if he really wanted to. That is close. That's a
That's
grab.
mark.
That is a sensational grab.
That is a mark. He didn't want to have the shot, Bilby, did he? He wanted to
No.
lay the ball off. Be interesting to see where the umpire lines him up here, because if he's inside the square, he should be able to go directly in front.
Boy. It
Very-
is Lincoln Bennett. Yeah, I thought I saw the number 12, but I thought he might have had the shot, but elected to, well, I don't know whether it was a shot or not, but good grab. Here it comes. In it comes, and, well, they have their first for the quarter. It's taken them 15 and a half minutes, Glenunga, to put a score on the board. Just a settling goal there, 6-1-37, 3-8-26, 11 points in it. 7 scoring shots, 2-11. And that's just a little bit of a deadener for the amount of time Sacred Heart have had it down forward and then can't actually do anything with it except score points.
Big goal for Glenunga there, momentum-breaking goal. You can see, Tony, just in the last 3 minutes, the game's just opened up a smidge, hasn't it? There's been a few switches of play. You've seen a little bit of play in open space. That's what can happen when fatigue sets in. So this is where it's now. It's up to a couple of these forwards to take some opportunities. And was it Bennett there, took the contested mark, important goal.
So up they go. Colotto gets the first use of it, gets it out to Ethan Moore, centre half forward position. A lot of players around this ball, going in twice there. That was Henry McAuliffe by the looks of it. It was. McAuliffe extracts himself from the ground. Colotto taps it forward, Sacred Heart's way. Can they run onto it? Is it a set play? But a player either side of that tap there. And how many times this quarter have we seen both forward lines? Goes forward into the forward line, turns over. Thomas Braun with ball in hand.
High tackle there, paid at the bottom of the pack.
Comes out very close to us here. Anyone's ball, big pack. Davis says, I'll take that. Off one step. Kicks it around the corner. Now they want numbers to get down there. Bennett comes at the ball. Doesn't quite, not much he could do there, trying to get away.
That's a good tackle there. Is that Dewhurst, is it? He's a big
Yeah,
boy,
Luke
young
Dewhurst.
Dewy, isn't he? He'd be bigger than his dad, I reckon. But yeah, that was a great tackle because they were away then. Glenunga just had to stop that momentum.
So, interesting now they've got Sam Abel in the ruck. Ball just bobbling around. Well, Abel goes back and gets his own ball. Gee, having to come inside there. That was Ben Dewhurst. Gee, that's a high kick. It's going to go over the back here, is it? It is. They charge towards it. Nice punch forward by the Sacred Heart player, and he's got a good set of jets on him there, Elijah Lowby. That was good play there. I don't want. It's going to be a game of inches or centimetres today, Adam.
Yep, for sure. It's a territory game, and you sport his team 20, 30 metres there. You'd rather have the stoppage in your front half than on the wing.
I'll tell you what else has happened this quarter. They've spread out a little bit more. You can see that line right down to the goals here. There are still players, just as I say that, the players come in around the ball, so Pridham and Bennett's only 20 metres off this. Round it comes there, that would look like Sam Abel it was. Oh, nice grab in front there. Sam Parsons.
He'll go long to the one-on-one.
Just off the line there. Tell you what, fortuitously to Harry Prosser. Gee, right in the goal square. Get after it. 1-2. Player taking the ground this time, second time. Player there, I hope he's okay there. Cameron Rankin just holding his ankle, or it might have just been the boot come off, I hope. So once again, Luke Dewhurst, you did say that, he's a good size there. Now a player drops the ball, round the corner it comes here and kicks it straight back. So there's a little bit of this going on. Is it nerves, is it pressure? These are the two top teams, Adam, and the amount of turnovers down on that last line of defence.
Yeah, it's the pressure. It's the pressure of the game. It's the pressure of the scoreboard. In a low-scoring game, every possession means something. So one error can cost you. Can't hide out there at the moment, Tony. So that's where the pressure's coming from.
So Abel. Colotto puts body on body, takes front position. Third man up, Davis. Walking just drops to the ground. Pridham. Gee, good battle there and well done by Sacred Heart player there. Got it out. Anyone's ball. Look at Coe here. He'll apply the tackle. That's what he does. Runs him forward. Umpire says ball up. Something you and I had a discussion about a couple of weeks ago, and it's come to the fore here, Adam. I don't reckon we've seen one coast to coast. Very rarely do you see it. Division 1 football. player down over there, the two players. I reckon that's Davis in a bit of trouble there, so just keep an eye on that as there's a mark in the forward line. But he's
Parsons has taken a
still
nice
on his
mark,
hands and
but
knees.
last thing this game needs is for Davis to be injured.
Well, there's 4 players down there on their haunches. I think 2 are fixing boots. One player's just come off here. Bilby came out holding his jaw, and Davis is just on his haunches. So there's a bit there for you to do, Adam.
Bit of carnage, self-inflicted. Looked like they all crashed into each other. Big shot for goal here.
Parsons, he kicked it high.
Got it.
They like it. Umpire stands still, goes over the top of his head. Goal umpire says all clear. And, well, nice kick by Samuel Parsons in the end.
So for all the Sacred Hearts dominance, Tony, they're 2 goal to 1 quarter in favour of Glenunga. So they've just steadied in the last 5 or 10 minutes, haven't they? This is why Glenunga is such a good team, Tony. When momentum's against them, they only allow 1 goal, whereas a lot of teams would allow 3, 4, 5 goals in that time, and that's why Glenunga is so well drilled. 21-minute
mark of the quarter. So once again, 7-1. Wow. 43 to 3 goals, 8-26. As we suggested there, Declan phase off the oval, pardon me, and his means that Glenunga are 1 interchange down. Davis again, just a hack, so at least he's out there and he's all right. So on the ground, Glenunga player had to go hard at that, was Jesse Temmie. So look, Davis, now he just wanders in at the back of this pack. You'll see him come into screen about now.
I think it's been a move by Coach Graham to employ this sweeper, Tony, this quarter. It wasn't there in the first half, was it? They're mindful of Sacred Heart breaking free with handball chains.
There's 3 of them here, about 30 metres off the pack. There they come in now. You'll see Davis, you'll see the Ruckman and Cheeseman, number 6. You can see him there playing on the screen on his own. Up it goes. Little hack kick forward. Round it goes. Oh, just buckled the knees there.
It's been important, Parsons, the last 5. He took the contested mark in front of us. He took the contested mark before, kicked the goal, now looking for his second goal in a minute.
That's a hard position to be in. You're running away from your goals. You know you're going to be first of all, and you know you're going to be tackled. He dropped the one knee pretty quickly, got taken high, and a little sacrificial act. And at this level, well, the umpire says that is too high.
Parsons played in defence in the first half as well, so it's been one of those moves that's worked so far.
There it is. So he's kicked the one.
Tricky shot here.
35 out. Too close to the man on the mark.
There you go.
Was too, yeah. Cameron Rankin comes in. They need to solidify here Sacred Heart, and maybe if they can pop that ball forward, I don't know that it's going to happen now, and try and get a goal, but they just won't get that 2 or 3 patterns of play to get it down there. 1-2. Coe just punches that ball, trying to get it forward. Came through was Jack Mooney. Anyone's ball again. Pridham's there. He's close by. Another ball up again. Speaking with people at half time, can't believe how many stoppages there are. It's like a soccer game. 5 goals to 2.
Said it a few times though, Tony. They cannot concede a goal here. 23 points in a low-scoring game. They need to kick 5 or 6 in a quarter to win Sacred Heart. You just can't see that happening in today's game, can you?
Well, that was Davis just putting a horizontal foot in. And we talked about game of centimetres. Pridham, just takes, just like having a little walk on a Sunday afternoon there. Pridham and Brinkworth holding hands and walk the ball over the line. So watch out for Pridham on the back of this pack. Here he is, number 1. Just watch out for him there. Outside by just there he is at the back of the pack. If he doesn't get the ball, he'll get the player, and I think he'd prefer getting the player first and then maybe getting a free kick. But he could be dangerous here. He's got a good mismatch on Dewhurst. Well, Dewhurst will be a good runner. So he goes left. Davis is there as well. So they're dangerous here. Like you said, that late one, Lincoln Bennett, so they're stacked full of it. Gee, left-footed kick out towards the boundary. Just across there. In front of Ryan Werfel. Good player at school
level. Hear the call there, Tony. It's a minute to go, so he's sending a +1 behind the football. You can see Davis will keep trotting into the D50 here.
And I reckon Tully Kennett, he's come up to it there. Gee, that ball's gone straight back down into a pack. And there it is. You won't get it out of there. And that's Alex Hara, and I've seen him last year pretty much will himself to the ball in the second half of a game and did a lot to get his team up and winning. And there he is, right in the middle of a pack like that. That's a dangerous kick forward because it's that scoring opportunity if it can come off the pack here. There'd be probably 30 seconds to go. 25-minute mark. So he comes in, Jordan West. He punches with 2 hands. Can Sacred Heart, they're under a lot of pressure here. Right in front of us here, Colotto now. Whoop, and he's in here with us. Into the commentary van.
Just pulled up just in time there. Sacred Heart haven't gone inside 50 for about 10 minutes, Tony, so they've been a real arm wrestle, and Glenunga have had some really good field position.
Just holding that arm there a little bit. Is he Colotto or his hand? I reckon he might have hurt his hand there just on the collision.
Let's hope he's okay.
Front position, nice bounce up. Around the corner goes Ethan Moore. He almost took that too long. This is what he can do. Except smothered. Welcome to Division 1 senior football, young man. And Alex Haran just spoke about him. He's one of those, just an outstanding team man, the 1%ers like that.
In the pressure of this game, Moore's got to kick that ball inside 50 and get some field position, looking for the extra handball or not wanting to use his left.
And you won't get away with it?
Nah, not against Glenunga on this oval. Yeah, not in this game today. It's a real arm wrestle. If you've got time and you're facing your goals, you must take territory.
So trying to push this time, West didn't get his own way. Here's the forward entry. Gee, it's going to be late in the quarter.
It's only a matter of seconds to go here.
Bang, he goes. They need a mark. Gee, look at all the players on the ground. There's more players on the ground than there is standing up there. Can they hack it out? They do. Once again, Alex Haran, I've spoken about him too. That's courage as well by Prosser. Parsons been very valuable. That's Lincoln Bennett. Just a high kick, but that'll do. 3/4 time, we have 7 goals, 1-43. Playing 3 goals, 8-26. So that is a 17-point lead to Glenunga. It was Sacred Heart by 3 at quarter time. Glenunga by 14 at half time. Glenunga now by 17 points, and we will take a short break.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back to Glenunga Oval, a 3/4 time, a 17-point lead to Glenunga, and thanks to our magnificent sponsors you could see on the screen a moment earlier, Hahn and Sportal Scoreboard, Dartfish for the replays, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic for our interchanges, our Boundary Rider Police Credit Union. I reckon that's when he ran into our vehicle here. So
he just pulled up quickly and put his hand out to brace, so hopefully... Hopefully he's okay, the coach. You did notice that, Tony. Good pick up by you.
Yeah, I saw him just shaking the hand, and then he was just holding it. He wasn't really moving it. But, so best player wins the Belgravia apparel and New Balance $100 voucher. Archie's footwear and iconic Dartfish beanie. You've got a bag full of stuff there, Adam. Now Morph mouthguards, magic moment. We've had a couple of them today, and Grimer there, just addressing his team. Moseley Bar and Kitchen, Best Team Man Awards. Of course, Farmers Leap Winery Coach of the Week, and it's going to take a mighty coaching effort from both coaches, Alex Collotto there and Nathan Grimer. We can hear addressing his team. Of course, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Programs The Fit, Born to Build, Bianco Constructions. Two of our other streams actually have the Jag Meatworks Snag of the Day, and 9 News Thursday night heading off to Modbury Football Club. Filming Footy Stats, 1,500 to 2,000 events. Design your own playlist, individual and team stats. All of this, Adam, Tide Division, and you've got some interesting stats from today.
Yeah, well, you can see at the end there was 11 inside 50s each in that quarter, but Glenunga really dominated the second part of that. Sacred Heart didn't go inside 50 for about 10 minutes.
Stopped, didn't it?
Yeah, it just stopped. They had all the momentum early, but that's why Glenunga are so good. They soak up that pressure and they get the game back into an arm wrestle, which is where they like it. So yeah, but this game is still on. Sacred Heart probably need to score 4 or 5 goals in this quarter. If Glenunga scored 2, it's going to be a bridge too far. So 3 goals in 3 quarters. Can you score 5 in 1? That's going to be interesting, Tony. Against Glenunga, I don't think so, but they're still just close enough. Just quickly, we go around the grounds as well, Tony. I've got some scores from around the grounds. Prince Alfred are 4 points up against Golden Grove at Park 9. We've got a 1-point ball game at Brighton Oval, which is an exciting contest. And Port District's trail by 12 points at home against Payne and Norwood. And in a bit of a shock, there's still a 1 quarter to go. Spock is still 4 goals up, 24 points up at Broadview. So some interesting games, a real arm wrestle, interesting game here. And we've got some interesting games happening at the other venues. So for mine, you've got to take if I'm the coach, Tony, you've got to roll the dice here. So 3 goals in 3 quarters, you need 4 in a quarter, potentially 5 to win it. So what do you got to do? We spoke about maybe moving a Seb Kerrish out of the congestion and into your forward line. They need a spark player. They need somebody that can spark them. Who is capable of kicking 3 goals in a quarter? Maybe it's Tyson Coe. Maybe the kid can do it. Maybe they should play him as a stationary forward. Who knows? But you're looking for something like that. So
they've got a mismatch in height in their forward line, Sacred Heart, with a couple of players. But the other bit, I'm not real sure on that. You've got the 2 tallest players, Brandon Smith and Alex Collotto, just standing 10 metres off each other. Maybe bring Collotto either. I thought maybe even start him in the ruck this quarter, or bring one of them up to centre forward and keep the other one long and stretch the opposition, because unless they're going to lead both either side of each other, they're going to get in each other's way. I don't like that they're so close, but look, they know what they're doing, of course. So once again, Glenunga, you can see no one ahead of the ball here. If they win this tap, so they go behind. So that's the set play there, out the back. Not able to get it forward, Bilby, the left footer. Doesn't matter because Abe Davis is there. Get on my back and follow me, boys, he says. Taps forward after it. Here is Harry Prosser. Was a little bit proppy today. Couldn't get boot to ball. He was hurt earlier on in the game. He went off big knock and thought it might have been the head or the corky. He's come back on, just not moving as freely as you'd like, I'd suggest.
I think his back was the issue as well, so he can get a lot of deep heat put into the back. So he's playing this game sore, but that's what you need from your soldiers in Division 1. You need them to see the game out, and he's played a good role for his team.
So see Davis there, he tried that again to put the foot up. We saw it last quarter effectively put the boot out. So this is where the ball comes, the big ruckman over the back, Jordan West. Like to see him take a few grabs around the ground. Cameron Rank and I have mentioned that many times. So this is what I've talked about. They've pressed all up the ground here, or tried to flood down the ground, the forwards of Sacred Heart. So when that kick does come in, they haven't got length. They've just pushed up. They've got width but no length. Leave one at home and get the other one up the ground. Fair enough. Both ruck ran right under that. As Collotto picked up a free here, I think he has. Jordan West misread the throw up. And, Collotto went down when they collided, probably 3 metres in front of that throw up there, Adam.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's been a lot of wrestling in the ruck contest today. For mine, you just let them go. But this is what happens sometimes. So you've got to make them pay with a straight kick, Tony. That's the key. Normally a very good kick. Missed his set shot in the second quarter. Hasn't kicked a goal yet today.
So, wanders in. Likes it off the boot. Claps himself and they get around him. And I think they just got to control that celebration and say we've still got work to do, boys. You look at their scoring today. The first quarter they kicked 2 and the third quarter they've kicked 1 goal. Now in the final quarter, they've kicked one. Glenunga at least have been consistent, 2-3 and 2. Like you said, you look at that scoreboard, at three-quarter time it's 17 points, but you think Glenunga are playing all over Sacred Heart in the second half of that quarter, thinking, well, they might just run away with it. Sacred Heart get back. It's still only 3 kicks and they're in front. Well, now it's 2.
Yep, 17 points is always an attainable lead.
So just taking that out with one hand there was the ruckman. So Davis just looking a bit frustrated. You see where they line up on this. So there's one Glenunga player ahead of the ruck tap. So it's either going to come down the ground or to the right. And look at where the wingers are. Both teams' wingers are in on this as well. And I often say on that, why come in unless it's something you've trained for and played for? Why come in? There's space out here.
If I'm Sacred Heart, I would be not going to that contest, Tony. I would be staying out wide, trying to get some overlap run happening.
Here it is. Out it comes Darcy Glyas, and any kick will do. Get it forward. Oh, nice turn there. Well done by, I reckon that was Brandon Smith, was it? Or Tap? That was Tap. Sean Tap. And so that's the value of being up the ground a little bit more. You can get him doing that. He doesn't need to be standing in the goal square. Colotto can stand in the goal square and then come out and ruck when he needs to. Every player in one half of the ground here on the kick in from Zach Smith. The ruckman's on this side of the ground, Jordan West. And he's got Bradley Noble on him on a 60-metre kick. 3 metres you're going to make up. Talk about time and space. Oh, a player just on his own here. Gee, he's still free there too. That's Tom Butterworth. Elects to come to him. Close to the boundary. So that Butterworth lead came from a long way out and no one went to him.
They just assumed the long ball was going to come.
Oh, tell you what, he's very close to the boundary line's got a bend in it there. So Oliver Cheeseman. Boy, oh boy.
That was very close.
So he's going to come towards the boundary, I often say. Go the boundary, get the boundary. Up they fly. Oh, bang. Look at the inside of the ground. There's one player inside the ground for Glenunga. His opponent, Dewhurst. Giving him about 20 metres there. So it's going to come around the flank, I'd say. Comes out the back. Heron was free. From behind, bang. Cheeseman. It does stay along that flank. Oh, unable to take it. Big crosser. Doesn't matter. DeSera. Oh,
great
player
tackle.
went to ground. Went to ground, and it is. Good call, Adam. Ben Dewhurst.
Had a couple of good efforts, hasn't he, in the last bit? And a beautiful leg on the way out.
Jackson Fox, one of the goal scorers, so they are a long way up the ground. Sacred Heart.
It's a big play there.
Now they've got the one stretch. They've got Colotto back. This has beaten the whole midfield here. If Sacred Heart could have got that, they might have been out. There's a player just come on, and that is Bowen Payne. Not just say, stop right there, mate, on the wing. Let him kick it to you. You don't need to go all the way across the ground.
Yeah, that's probably something Sacred Heart will talk about and look at if they're going to play Glenunga in finals on this venue. You need to find a way. So if there's 28 people around the ball, does it matter if there's 27, Tony?
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's the question, isn't it? So hang out.
I don't mind as a coach being outnumbered by the opposition because I don't reckon they've trained for it. There's 4 guys in there that are on ballers that are really going to hunt the ball, or 3 and 1 ruckman, as Davis comes out with it. You send a 5th in, does everyone even know he's there? Tactics. Player free in the middle over the back of the umpire here if they want it. Davis doesn't waste possession. Thomas Carlo-Vasidis, been a role player today, has played his position, played his role. High kick in, there's a free. What's the umpire seen? You wouldn't believe it. Another turnover, Sacred Heart, clearance. Sean Tap. No, I don't think that's Tap,
They
sorry.
spread the ground here looking for an exit.
Might have been Brandon Smith, apologies there. Sanderson. Possession. Grimer tearing the hair out. Ask why is that possible? How is it possible? They go to the boundary now, so they're outside. Is this where Glenunga want the opposition to have the ball in their hands? Jackson Fox. It's 2 kicks. It's now 1 and a little bit, which would still be 2, Adam, really. Ethan Moore up high. Cameron Rankin. It's on the ground. Not a good forward line entry. They've got... this is where they want it. Big taps at the back. Oh, Colotto. This is what we're talking about. Tap called for that. Pointed in the air, couldn't get to it. Colotto was standing still and just jumped vertically straight up. And, could be lined up for his second in the last quarter. Asked the question about where will their goals come from.
They've been waiting all day for him really to get some one-on-ones inside 50, haven't they? And they haven't really eventuated. It's all been messy ball in, but they've had a few balls that have come in. It's a great mark. If he kicks this, it's going to be game on.
So 7.5 minutes in. He has kicked it. So what's going to happen here? We just alluded to this. So Jordan West is going to go into the tap here. You see Sam Abels come on. He's just going to trot down into the forward line. West is going to take the tap and he's going to go forward. Well, I'm not telling you any secrets. You can hear Nathan Grimer there. This will be interesting to see whether maybe are they looking for Jordan West to maybe take a grab and kick a goal, or is he going to be a decoy and try and get that ball to ground or give the dummy lead? Probably that ball to ground because those last two inside 50s have come straight back out again.
Yes, and that's what he's concerned about.
So there he goes. He kicks it and he immediately starts heading down the ground. Oh, here we go. Pridham could not take it. That fumble. Crucial there. So you see out the back there, Jordan West just trotting by. Number 36. So he's gone down. Abel has come into the ruck. Abe Davis falls over. Big punch forward. Pridham now leads at it. Oh, straight out in front. That was good courage by Harry Prosser. As you said, feeling that back. And look at where he's running back to. You can see right in the background there, big Jordan West. Up it goes. Davis, third man up. Punches forward. Good movement there by Hugh DeSera. Couldn't get the ball, though. Just on that, Adam, you like to see players running on the ball up or staying still, because if they're running, sometimes you can run forward in a game like this and run past where the ball is.
At forward 50 stoppages, you'll take a little bit more licence to do so. Around the ground, not so much.
So here's the little chip kick in. Prosser just ducks under. Over the boundary line, Jesse Temmie. So this is where Jordan West will come in, because it's not going to be a kick to the goal square from here. Speaking of which, there is a player now. Yeah, two players in the goal square. Just pointing there, Cameron Rankin. Taking on Abe Davis. Davis on the move now. Comes to the ground. If he gets busy, look out. Oh, DeSera taking the ground, buckled at the knees. Umpire says ball up. 30 metres out, 25 metres out. Davis sets himself, waits for it. Over the back, the big ruckman, he's there for a reason, gets a kick. Players just line up when they see those big sticks at him. This way, that way, and just across in front of Thomas Karlovasitis. Had a very good first half and maybe becoming industrious in this last quarter. Wakefield Sports Exercise Medicine Clinic giving us the interchanges. Davis just about tries to take the chest mark. Bilby tried to force his way through. Yet another stoppage, Adam. The page is going to be
World
filled.
record. I'm looking forward to those Dartfish stats tomorrow, Tony.
It is going to be filled, yep. Filming Footy Stats, sponsored on the Dartfish platform, and this is the sort of stuff you can get from it. It's not kicks, marks and handballs. There's so much more that you can get out of it, and will that tell the story of the day? Thomas Bilby, I've liked his game. He started in the middle. One of those real grunters in the middle for Glenunga.
Just needs a settler for his team here. You know, they've been sort of in control all day, haven't they, without building a huge lead.
Yep.
Bilby's been in and around the action. It's been hard. There's been no real standout players, really. There's been so much congestion. Davis has obviously been a good player, but I have liked Bilby's game. They need a straight kick from him here. Left foot, nice side for him to be hooking in.
Good strong leg on him. Just pops it up. Just pulled it to the near side for him, and there's no wind out there to speak of. So that's you wouldn't believe it, that's their first point in the second half, and only scored 1 point in the first half. So 2 for the day. So we haven't seen Sacred Heart's kick-in techniques on display. Gee, a long way back here is Brandon Smith. Goes out the other side, probably diagonally to the same distance. Colotto it is. Player in the middle called for it. He's just holding it. It's interesting to see a lot of players running back, but then there's players cutting across, coming towards him as well. There's a real mess of players out there.
It's a risky ball.
Up and down. Oh, chopped off. Seen a few good smothers today. Pridham versus the ball again. He wouldn't mind that.
That's that risk reward, isn't it? If that's marked from Colorado, it's through, and you likely score a goal. Turnover the other way can result in a goal as well.
It took so long to release as well, Adam, which the opposition, I'm going to start looking, are they playing, standing their players, or are they standing an area or a position? So there's no spare back. Colotto's got a good size over Zach Smith. Zach Smith, very good backman, but Colotto's probably got 4 or 5 inches on him here.
Well, he's held him all day,
Turnover
Zach
here.
Smith.
Yep.
He's been all over him. But just in this last quarter, Colorato's had a couple of marks. Can be a match winner for his team.
So look at the amount of players that run down here. That's certainly not 6 on 6. It's about 15 on 15 here. Big ball in, the big ruckman. Can't quite get there. It's on the ground. Exciting ball. Inside 50. Playground over the back.
And
Playground
holding the
side.
ball.
Well, it's happened a few times. We are almost 13 minutes in. That might be Dewhurst or Brandon Smith. It's Dewhurst. Goes long, which is 2 kicks back. I've been saying it all day. At the back. Ground ball. Up. Can they get it through? Not enough runners, and they set up well here, Glenunga, on that backward handball. Samuel Parsons, big high kick. Crunch goes Luke Dewhurst. And the umpire's going to do yet another ball up. As I said, I hope our Filming Footy stats people have got a big square, because there's going to be a lot of numbers in that ball ups and stoppages. Round it comes. Little kick out by Pridham. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. Wow. It's going to bounce through. Charlie Pridham. We've warned about it here, there and everywhere. And that's what that young man can do. That is a sensational goal in a crunch time of the match. 13 and a half minutes in. We see it here. Just protected the ball drop. Anyone's ball. Look at Pridham there. Just a quick foot on the ball, wasn't it? And it bounced. The second goal we've seen bounce through today. We saw the one from outside 50, but at a time when a goal is needed, understating that, and through it goes.
Just to get enough purchase on that ball, Pridham, he's not a big man, is he? But he in the congestion, he was able to get a 40-metre snap on the ball. Huge goal for Glenunga, who've dominated the territory. Sacred Heart have only had 4 inside 50s for 2 goals, but still game on here.
So Bradley Noble's come out of the ruck, and Jackson Fox has come on into the forward line, and he's another good-sized player. You see the Glenunga players come up to the ball, so there's 4 players in the 50 now for Sacred Heart, which means there must be a few more up the ground. And interesting from Glenunga, they're not playing a spare back. You wouldn't need to at the moment. You're in front on the scoreboard, and play your own game, make them accountable. There's the spare for Sacred Heart. He's back down here in the back line. It is Dewhurst, who's just at the back of this. So he comes up, and then Brandon Smith becomes the spare.
So they're rolling the dice here, Glenunga, trying to ice this game. Davis has gone isolated as the deepest forward. If they can get a one-on-one to him, if they kick the next goal, they'll call it game over.
Wow, around the corner, Tully Kennett, one-on-one. Yet another turnover, Zach Sanderson. Abe Davis has gone forward. We talked about that earlier in the game. Geez, chasing here, the big fella in the forward line. Done a mountain of work. Nice little kick around the corner there, Ethan Moore. Can they release? There's Davis. That is forward line pressure, and that is a great effort from a man who's played a mighty game already. Dragged around there, Darcy Glyce. He gets the boot on the ball. I tell you what, he gets the boot on the ball. That is a sensational goal, and that was quick. From the centre-half back here position, Davis worked really hard there. Could not quite put the pressure on that was required. They get it brought forward here, and Glyce just shrugged out of that tackle, and that was Pridham who couldn't hold the tackle either. So probably 2 there, and that ball bounced through right on the line. Adam, game on.
What will be bugging the Glenunga coaching staff is, as good a player as he is, Abe Davis, they got the hat kick towards him inside 50, and Sanderson was able to read it, play in front and take the mark, and he's the one that got the ball going Sacred Heart's way. Game on.
I know he's done a mountain of work. Sorry,
been good today, Sanderson, at fullback. It's been very good.
Done a mountain of work on his fitness, Abe Davis, but he's played on ball most of today, been in the ruck and an on ball, a third man up, and now he's asked to do the job in the forward line. And yet, I commend him for that chase out. He came about 50 metres up the ground. I tell you what, if he gets another go at it here, he won't let it out again. I can guarantee that. Yep. So Ruckman already in spots. West up against Colotto. He's come up this time. I prefer that. Pushed out of it. Play on. They have a player out the back. Glenunga, that is. It's going Sacred Heart's way. It's a bobbly ball here. Watch out for Tyson Coe. He's probably the equivalent of Pridham there at times. Number 8, if he can get it on his boot, they'll go forward. How do you see the forward line set up now? They've got Sean Tapp down deep, and they've got next in line Jackson Fox, who's probably a mid-sized player up here in line. Don't mind that, Adam? How do you find that?
Fox is one that can take a contested mark. They've had to move Parsons from this forward post. Here's a big play here, ball bobbling around half forward.
Well, Pridham bumped off it. So too the Sacred Heart, so 1 for 1. They flick it back here. 1-2. There's Davis again. Couldn't quite get to it. They're out again. Here's Sacred Heart. This is where they're dangerous, but it's on the ground. Gives Glenunga a chance. See, trying to shrug off the player there was Bilby. 1, 2. Haran standing still. Onto the boot. Lincoln Bennett. Normally a strong player in this situation. Geez, dragged the ground. That's a good tackle by Sam Bruin. That is a great battle out there. It's got that final feel about it. And, well, we saw 2 broken tackles only about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Now we're seeing tackles that stick from both sides. Colotto trying to do it manfully here in the ruck. You can see him there in the background. Injured hand. Got the socks down. Yeah, go on.
I think they'll look to get Noble back on the footy, and Colotto can be the match winner. He's the one guy that can take that contested mark inside 50. Yeah,
it's interesting you're saying that, because the opposite end of that is Davis, isn't it? So you're right, Adam, now, and what a game we have. The good thing is both teams have got a player that can do that. Gee, dragged the ground now, and that was Seb Kerrish putting the tackle on. They're out here, 1-2. I'll tell you what, also, they're past the midfielders. Coe was the player I was talking about, streaming through the middle here. It's gone higher and further. One hand goes up. It's on the ground. Anyone's ball. I can't hear myself because the coach is going off as well. And that is Lewis Benuto taking the ground. And look at the on-ballers now. Abe Davis, he's playing full forward, and he's going to come down into the back line here.
It'll be all hands on deck now, Tony, just to clear this ball.
Jordan West is down there as well. Player taking the ground. Just a soccer out. 1-2. Player ran into trouble there. Ran into Tyson Coe. Gee, it's out here again. Parsons, quick kick. Colotto. He's probably 55 out. It's going to have to be the high kick. Well, he kicked it from the other end. Maybe kicking up the hill. Although it's pretty level here, I'll say that now. But
Parsons would love to have that play back again, Tony. He could have rushed the ball through and they could have had a kick out, but he hammered the ball back down the middle of the ground.
So he's got a good run up here. Colotto, gee, he dropped that ball high from a highway out. Look at them all barge forward here. Ground ball. Bowen Payne can't. Thomas Karavalitis, I keep talking about him, playing just a good role-playing game out there, and, well, gets that ball now. 2 kicks from the goal for Sacred Heart. And just those high, long bombs in are not going to work. They're going to have to try something else. Or now Colotto's, I was just going to say, Colotto goes forward, and he has. So what do they lose in the ruck? Well, nothing, because Noble's gone in, up against Davis. Another stoppage. Righto, put your coaches' hats on, both coaches. 5 minutes to go, 8-2-50, 6-9-45, 5 points in it. Will Sacred Heart get in front for the final part of the day?
Well, they've led all day, Glenunga, haven't they? But when the game's a low-scoring arm wrestles, it only takes 2 passages of play to get back into it. Glenunga still need to score a goal. He's not going to kick the ball to you there, Big Westy, in the corridor today, unfortunately.
Jeez, he did a mountain of work, didn't he? Sorry to come over the top of you.
No, you're right.
I was just watching him forge down, and I thought, gee, someone's dropped the chip in the forward pocket, and he's after it. It's going to come back towards those players again. Davis will be out here somewhere. There he is, from where that ball came. He's just gone back behind the ball to help out.
They just can't get a contest in their front half at the moment, Glenunga, can they? They've rolled a lot of people back, and the ball just keeps rebounding. No contest in the front half at the moment.
Jackson Fox had to stand under that for a long time. Colotto again, starting to rack up the touches. This is the entry they need. The player comes forward on the lead. Gee, that's 2 kicks from Colotto that have gone probably higher than they have longer, and Bruin can't get near. Sean Tapp, can't get near it. There you go. So
I like that move.
Westy's already there at the minute. Go on, sorry, Al.
They want West forward to get a contest. That's what they want. When that high hack kick comes, they just want the ball to come to the ground so he can just use his size. They're outnumbered at the moment, though, Tony.
Jesse Temmie down forward with a bit of height. Lincoln Bennett's going to have to put the Jets on. He's getting chased by Luke Dewhurst. I'll tell you what, it's going to go out into the pocket. The crowd just erupts. Geez, he waits a long time, Bennett. Gives it back to Temmie under pressure. And look at the white jumpers there. There were more white jumpers, but doesn't matter how many white jumpers, it's got to be close to the player, and it was.
Great desperation there from Sacred Heart sprinting back there.
What happens next? Oh, Pridham. Can he do it from the pocket? No, he can't. It's exciting.
Won't be a long quarter, Tony, so...
Players calling out to the bench at the moment. They need to make their own decisions.
Still be a couple of minutes. Time for Sacred Heart to clear the ball. If Glenunga get a goal, she'll be all over.
Throw in, forward pocket, 5 points.
They may not want it behind either because that'll give Sacred Heart the ball and the chance to go coast to coast.
Could we have a draw in our hands, Adam?
We saw one last night in the AFL. We've had a few draws this year. 3
in the AFL. Alex Haran it was. Colotto's up the ground here. Well, their whole forward line's here on the wing. Gee, Big West, he's dropped that ball. I think he threw that out about 2 metres in front of him and tried to get a foot to the ball there. Gee, what an exciting last quarter. 5 points in it. Hang on to your hats. Hope you're enjoying the game wherever you're watching around the world. That's a touched last possession. So Jordan West is down where the coach wants him. However...
So Sacred Heart must try and spread the field and switch the ball. They don't want to come up the line.
Bit of holding on here. Sean Tapp, there, just dragged the ground there, and Davis comes across. So Colotto and Tapp were getting a lot of body-on-body man work, and, well, Davis punches that out. He's charged back too. He is the spare now down in the back line.
So that would suggest that there's not a lot of time left. That's really defending the ground. So this will only be a 25-odd minute quarter, so it's probably a minute and a half to go.
Oh, he can't get his foot to it. He's hurt himself there, West. He's kicked something.
The old shin-on-shin kick, not a good feeling.
I'm a bit worried about the other bloke that he kicked. He's going to have to go up here. Probably run in under this and protect the ball drop. He does. He's nudged a bit there by Noble, who's done all right. Players stand and watch. Rankin it was trying to get it out.
So what you practice here, you remember in the AFL, Tony, they talk about the 2-minute drill. So if you're down 5 points, you need to get the ball into space. You need to leave the congestion. Your ruckman needs to hit it to space. If you're Glenunga, it's tap the ball in close, keep it in congestion. Sacred Heart have got the right idea here.
First time third man up, and they get it. So, well, Rankin's behind the ball. It's, do you play in front, do you play behind the ball? Tell you who's free is Cheeseman. So, interesting, Benuto goes to him. Cheeseman is now covered, but Jack Mooney stayed with him as well, so you get a 2-on-1. Cheeseman is now free here off the back of this pack. Once again, I spoke about it, Alex Haran, that's what he does. Player pushed as he was in the air there.
Important play, because if he pays the push there, they get the ball, but now it's a stoppage, and it's so hard to clear from that congestion.
Brandon Smith first the ball. Every player in one half of the ground.
I don't think there's long to go here. Coach Grimer's up and about just trying to get numbers.
Throw in comes. Oh, drops short. Noble, first to it. Gee, dangerous position. Just punch it. And punch it they do. Can they get the runners here? Colotto slips over at the vital moment. 3-on-1. The one does well. That was Henry McAuliffe. Did well in there just to congest it. They need to release now. Get a player out wide. Get someone off this pack. The two rucks fly in. There's the third man up. They cannot get that free out of that pack. If they get it out, Cheeseman is back. They've done this in the second half. They've got the spare back. Davis is back. Yep. Up it goes. So, Brinkworth taking the ground. So he's going to be 3 kicks from goal. Cooper Brinkworth. Little chip across. Seb Kerrish puts the Jets on. Spun around. In the tackle, around it goes. Tom McDermott. Siren is gone. 8 goals to 50 will win it for Glenunga. 6-9-45 to Sacred Heart. 5 points in the end to Glenunga. What a final quarter we had. A battle of the wits. We talk about game plans, we talk about tactics, we talk about coaching now, and it had it all. The tactics of Glenunga playing that player behind the ball. We had Abe Davis trying to work both ends of the ground. Just umpire came charging over here to talk. So interesting game there. Players just shaking hands. Abe Davis with ball in hand, as you would. End of the game. Umpire's happy with the adjudication, I would say. And here are some highlights. Yep. So there's that first goal on the board. Sacred Heart, well, they led at quarter time, 2-3 to 2 goals. Open ball here, round it went off one step. It was Jesse Temmie with a nice goal, and Glenunga were quite happy about that. You could see the ground absolutely bathed in sunshine. Adam Jeffries just out on the ground, mingling through the players, finding out who our awards are, as early in that quarter, out it came. That was Bowen Payne. This was sensational. He wriggled through a few of them, and this ball got down there, and a nice goal there to Jackson Fox. But the work of Bowen Payne, we saw glimpses of what that man can do. There's nice running there, and that was unselfish. Huey De Silva, he just ran through and put that to the hot spot, which is the Glenunga game plan. Of course, it went further, rolled over, and through for a goal. So we didn't see too many kick-ins. Two kick-ins, 2 points to Glenunga, so 2 kick-ins from Sacred Heart. In the end, it was 9 points to Sacred Heart, so they've had 15 scoring shots to 10. So 2 weeks in a row, they've had more scoring shots than the opposition and have lost the game. So Glenunga there, cock a hoop there with Lincoln Bennett. We kicked 2 on the day. Of course, Prosser with the sore back. And, well, we'll go to Adam on the ground with our award winners.
All right, we're here on the ground. Hopefully I've turned the mic on. I reckon we have real arm wrestle today. Really tough to find some really good players, but we've got someone different than Abe Davis, which is fantastic. We've got our Best on Ground Belgravia New Balance Award, which is Charlie Pridham. So well done, Charlie. Charlie, how many tackles did you have today?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Probably more tackles and touches, but yeah, it's always good to contribute when you're not finding the ball as much. So yeah, that forward roll, just tackle pressure, what Nate wants. So yeah.
And the goal. Tell us about the goal.
Yeah, I was pretty filthy with myself earlier because I had a set shot from the boundary and absolutely bellied it. So yeah, I was just happy to make up for it with that. Good timing as well. Yeah.
No, well done. We thought you played a great game. Well done, Charlie. Lincoln Bennett, our magic moment player today, the smother and the snap in the goal square in the second quarter. Tell us about it, mate.
Yeah, I was just trying to press up and hold the space between him, and Nobes just kicked it into me, so I was a bit lucky, to be honest. But yeah, it was good. It was a good goal.
No, it was a really good goal in an important time as well in a low-scoring game that bobbled up, and it was a great snap. And our best team man, we thought he was the best defender on ground. He was had the big matchup on Kailotto, who's about a foot taller on him. Didn't touch the ball all day. We thought Alex was going to win him the match almost in the last quarter when he went into the ruck. But tell us about your game, Zach, on a tough opponent in Kailotto.
Yeah, he's a very big bloke, a very good player. Yeah, it was one of those roles that Nine gave us. We're a bit short in the back line at the moment, so I thought it was a good arm wrestle day. I don't think either of us got on top. So just like the scoreboard today, they're second on the ladder for a reason. They're a tough team, so it's good to get the win in the end.
No, well spoken. You played really well, undersized down back against one of the competition's great players. So well done to Glenunga. Not one for the time capture, a real arm wrestle, but that's how they play. That's how they love it. Well done to Glenunga. Great win. Back to the commentary box. Cheers, boys.
So thanks very much for that, Adam, and worthy winners down there. Of course, our great sponsors with the Belgravia Apparel New Balance voucher, the footwear and the beanie, the mouth guard, and of course the Moseley Bar and Kitchen, best team man, and magnificent down there, the Moseley Bar and Grill. As we look at these highlights coming in, that was a great mark at a very poignant time in the game. by that man Lincoln Bennett, who of course scored 2 goals today, as Adam alluded to. So fantastic work by Bennett as he just wanders in for that one.
That was an arm wrestle. I called a game out here, the semi-final between Prince Alfred and Glenunga last year, and it was a genuine arm wrestle type of match. So it's hard to find a lot of highlights, not a lot of goals, not a lot of big marks, not a lot of open passages of play. But we spoke about this, Tony. That's Division 1 football, isn't it? These are the 2 best teams, and this is the style of play. Not everybody loves it, but this is the style of football that wins games.
And it was a grinding game. As you said, no one team really got the advantage. I mean, you look at Glenunga's third quarter, they were 5-1 at halftime, they were 7-1 at three-quarter time. They kicked 2 goals straight. Sacred Heart will go back and have a look at the tape of this. They kicked 1 goal 3, so they probably outplayed them more scoring shots, if you like. 4 scoring shots to 2, but get outscored. And then their first quarter was the best quarter. They had 5 scoring shots, but then they had 2, 4 and 2 for the rest of the game. And for a team that's in second position, grinding it out, because really, Glenunga's second half, they had 2 and 2 scoring shots as well. So if you look at the whole first half, we have 5, 7, 9, 12, 13 scoring shots. In the second half, it becomes 4, 6, 9, 10 scoring shots for the whole second half.
Yeah, so Glenunga, obviously, they take the win. But Sacred Heart don't lose any admirers today, do they? They're on an away game. They're playing the top team, who's undefeated. They've had 15 scoring shots to 10, so they won't lose too much heart with this. But one thing I would do, that's very likely, if you're Sacred Heart, you're coming here to play a final this year, aren't you, Tony?
Yes,
you are coming
exactly.
here to play a final.
Yep.
So for mine, I'm going to the tape if I'm Coach Collado. How can we do things better? Yes, we played well. Our contest and our structure's really good, but when we're 2 or 3 goals down, how can we open the field up? Sacred Heart do have some really good ball users and runners. It's hard to play that style, but we spoke about it during the call, is you've just got to train your wings, your half forward. Sometimes just stay out of that congestion.
Yep.
Because you don't want to lose the stoppage. Of course you want to win it, but when there's so many numbers around the ball, that stoppage going to Glenunga numbers versus a stoppage win going to Sacred Heart with talented players on the outside, I think that's something that they need to look at, because on this ground, Glenunga defend it so well. Teams just can't score more than 50 points here. So how are you going to do it? We saw Prince Alfred last year only scored 45 points here in a final. How is Sacred Heart going to find 60, 70 points in a final? For mine, trying to just spread the field a little bit more, get some players away from the congestion is something they'll do some homework on.
We talk about that running type players, and I'm going through the list as you talk, as you're discussing it. Luke Dewhurst is a good size in the back line, so he might be a little
Played
bit
a good
more
game today.
Stay at home, but Ben Dewhurst is a runner. Ethan Moore can do both. Seb Kerrish has been in the back line, been on the ball as well. Tyson Coe, who I talked about, really can be the conduit between half back and half forward. He can seriously play, that lad. I didn't see enough of Elijah Lau this week, but he was their best player.
So hard for those runners though. Like Kerrish is a talented player, but he's just playing in a phone box the whole game, isn't he? He kicked the ball out to him in space and let him do some work. So that's
Glyas with the 2 goals. That was the other bit. Just to finish on that point, he's a good runner and looks like he can finish well as well.
But the other thing at Sacred Heart, and both teams have got players to come back into these teams as well. So both teams probably had 4 or 5 of their best team out. Sacred Heart got a couple of gun forwards that didn't play today. So yeah, like I said, I'd be going just to work on a little bit of style against. You just have to change your style a little bit against Glenunga. You know what they're going to throw up.
Sacred Heart also, the captain is out, Simons of course, but also they kicked 5 goals last week and 6 this week. Let's have a look at
some amazing results around the ground.
Prince Alfred Golden Grove, so 28 scoring shots to 20, and they've won up there, Prince Alfred.
That is a big win for Prince Alfred. Golden Grove just spluttering a little bit in their Division 1. Prince Alfred 4 losses on the trot, want to stay away from the relegation, Tony.
I'll be interested to have a look at the St Peters and Broadview game. I know they had a recruit come in this week, St Peters, but that's a big score on the back of a win last week. That's a confidence-boosting 10-goal win, not a little couple of points.
Not a good day at the office for Broadview, though. Sorry to say that. Yeah, at Broadview's home, a 10-goal loss to the bottom team, so that's an interesting one. And Brighton, Tony.
Well, I went out there on
I
Thursday
saw your chat
night,
with Coach Backwell.
Had a chat with him, 9 out. they're just trying to blood some young players and come through. And I said, mate, you've won 10 out of 24 quarters. 2 were against Sacred Heart. How do you see that against Tea Tree Gully, who probably went down there thinking we're on here?
Tea Tree Gully are an improved team for mine, but I've been encouraged by Brighton's form, Tony. I think they've been better defensively than the last couple of years, despite him saying they've got troops down. He hasn't been happy, but really good win there for Brighton. This relegation battle is going to be pretty fierce, isn't it, Tony?
Well, I think they're fourth from the bottom in regards to their points against. So you're correct, their backline seems to be going well. They just can't score up forward.
But they found just enough today. And a big result at Largs, Payneham Nord. That's a huge win out there. So again, Payneham Nord, accurate kicking. You know, sometimes we analyse the game to its nth degree. If you kick straight, helps, doesn't it, Tony?
Gee, Port, 28 scoring shots to 22. They kicked 21 scoring shots to win last week. They have 28 this week and lose. And 22 scoring shots by Payneham Nord. What a bizarre season it is turning out to be, and you can't just say, well, this is going to be the top 5 and the rest can just sort it out. It's
very interesting round of footy.
Anyone's game. So, looking at that is our scores from the other grounds. Fantastic day here today. We'd like to thank our production team, of course, Alias above us on the camera brought us all the shots from the general play. Of course, James Moody out there on the third camera, doing a fantastic job, getting us all the shots of the coaches going up and down on the spot and the crowds and everything. Of course, Hugo, our producer, fantastic effort there. And, well, don't you choke on me now, Adam, because it has been an absolute pleasure to call the last 2 weeks with yourself.
Thank you, Tony.
We wish Phil all the best. We hope he's back next week and coming in to commentate. Remember to watch Between the Posts, our magnificent footy show. Tom and Javor doing a wonderful show out there, and Hugo, of course, putting together a really great show that's got all the results and a lot of highlights from throughout the week. Our market goal of the days, of course. Filming footy stats. I cannot talk this up enough. 1,500 to 2,000 events in a game of footy. And as you said today, Adam, and I think this is the big one for us, is the amount of ball ups and stoppages and tackling and what's going to happen from there. Coaches can now go back, look at those stats and get vision to each and every stat there and say, okay, what happened? How did Glenunga set up in that second half of the game with that player 10 metres off the ball? You can get all that in your stats. You're filming footy stats. So thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Thank you especially to all of our viewers out there in South Australia and the world. We can't thank you enough for viewing, and well, have a marvellous week. What a magnificent day it's been in the Adelaide Footy League.